Big Orange fans, you played every snap. You showed your orange. But you're just getting started because it's time for the best post-game fan show in college football. It's time for the Garza Law Firm 5th Quarter Fan Reaction. The place where the Big Orange universe from all around the world gathers to talk about today's game. Unfiltered, uncensored, and unapologetic. And did we mention commercial-free? A show of you, by you, and yep, for you.
Yes! Yes!
The most unique fan experience in sports.
Let's go.
And it happens right now.
Let's go.
Get online at 865-200-5402. That's 865-200-5402. Or you can hit us up on Twitter at Tony Basilio. Now, here's your host of the Garza Law Firm 5th Quarter Fan Reaction, the man who's been keeping it real for the Vol fans for a quarter century. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Tony Basilio.
And the Vols, ladies and gentlemen, improved to 3-1 on the year with a 56-24 win over the Blazers of UAB, who play defense like they were up all night blazing. I don't know. I don't know what was worse, UAB's effort on defense in that first half, which was, that first Brazel touchdown looked like something. How do you put this? Well, you knew it wasn't going. You knew that this thing wasn't going to go well for UAB when Trent Dilfer was seen right before kickoff pulling out his phone and snapping a photo. It looked like he was either taking a selfie or maybe a photo of a friend he knew from Nashville on the Tennessee sideline or whatever it was. But he had a couple kids playing in today's game, one of whom returned a fumble for a touchdown. But I want to shout out today Daniel Gautreau, the head referee in this game, and that entire crew. Let's shout them out. Ryan Alds, also Jeremiah Harris, David Ross, Jay Brown, Brandon Spencer, and Ron Turner. I hope we never see you guys again in Neyland Stadium. Because at the end of the day, these are the people that stole today's show. What are you doing calling that many penalties in a game like today? They called 18 penalties in this game. Brian Hartman. As the Vols win, and it's great to see the Vols back in the win column, but geez Louise, man. Can we let it breathe? Can we let it breathe? And by the way, this is we're going to do a little watch along here with the Oklahoma-Auburn game if you want to flip that on and watch along with us as Auburn with a short field goal attempt can tie a game at 3. And if you want to get in with us, 865-200-5402. The Vols get to 56 pretty quickly, coming right out of the halftime gate, and then they're pretty much stuck there. They score right out of halftime. Then they get a scoop and score and a touchdown, and the reserves come in, and that was that. But Brian Hartman, your thoughts on what we witnessed? Then we go to our busy phones today, as it is Garza Law, 5th Quarter Fan Reaction presented by Marcos Garza and your Garza Law Firm online at garzalaw.com.
Well, if you got to have crappy officiating, just glad it was today, and hopefully won't be in a game that really where it could come back to get you. But that's not why you win or lose. But I thought the second team came in, and if Morris's run stands, they could have gone and scored there. I think there was a penalty here. And of course, it goes back to the officiating. They called a hold that wiped that out. And then the last drive, I wondered, I kind of found it surprising that they were throwing into the end zone in the last play of the game. I didn't know if Dilfer would appreciate that, but it appears like that they had a very cordial handshake after the game. So just perfect execution. UAB's defense, I think you could pull six people out of the audience that would have given better effort than that, or probably could have done just as well.
It was unreal how bad they were.
That's exactly what the Vols needed to do against an opponent like that.
And on our gambling show, presented by our friends at Dos Equis /VIP Play, Our winners and losers, one of our power plays was the Tennessee team total over 54.5, and it hit. And it hit
the
on
defense. Thanks to the defense.
It hit on the defensive score. So, a couple notes on today's game, and then we'll go to the phones, and I want to hear from you at 865-200-5402. Joey Football, who had a nephew born today, his mother was unable to be in attendance. Joey Football, 28 straight now games in college football as a starter, over 200 yards. And so congratulations to Joey Football as he continues the streak. He barely goes over 200 today, 218 with 3 touchdowns and a pick. As we said, Trent Dilfer took a selfie before the game today, and he looks like a rugged version, a football version of Jerry Tarkanian over there on the sidelines. UAB's defense looked like they were blazing overnight. We know we call them the Blazers, but they looked like they were blazing on some wacky weed because those guys were brutal. I'm telling you, that first touchdown to Brazel, they just quit running. It looked like it looked like a Friday walkthrough over in Neyland Stadium, like a no contact walkthrough. Really strange. The crowd in the stadium today, so great. For those of you outside the area, it's a warm day today for a noon 45 start. I mean, it's like an 85-degree day outside. It's pretty warm. And to have that kind of crowd and that kind of support, I mean, it just continues to be amazing. And by the way, special shout out to all the great people I met yesterday. So many new folks. Our Friday series of shows down at Calhoun's on the River, they are the Taste of Tennessee. That was phenomenal. So it all ties together into the tapestry of a very good weekend. And now that we got our game out of the way in the noon window, we can watch some football the rest of the day, including Oklahoma. Arkansas lost to Memphis, a future opponent. Arkansas is very suspect defensively, and Memphis took full advantage of them today, coming from way back to defeat them. And Arkansas also turned it over deep in Memphis territory a couple times on the road. So Auburn and Oklahoma are 3-3. And from a Tennessee perspective, if you're thinking long-term, if you're thinking playoff, you want Oklahoma to win this game today. We need Oklahoma to be up there when we play them. We need that. We need them to win. Need Oklahoma to win some. So I'm on Oklahoma to win this thing today. This is kind of the hopes. But we'll get as many people in here as humanly possible. If you want to get in. By the way, Tennessee went back to their 2022 wide splits. They played more veer and shoot offense today, which I thought was interesting after last week's pro-style look against Georgia. So Tennessee's showing you they can do, pray tell, a little bit of everything on offense, which I like. Take a game like this, get back in your wide splits, show everybody you can do what you can do. I want to put into perspective how bad this UAB team is. If you look at the power numbers, ETSU's defense presents better than this UAB defense does. Brian, the directional school from Texas, what'd they put on them last week? They got in the 40s. Navy got in the 40s on them. I mean, that is you talk about a brutal defense. If Tennessee felt like it today, Brian, how many points could they have scored? They scored 56 as it was, 49 offensively. If they would have felt like it. They could have
pushed 80 points probably.
Yeah. Like if Heupel, and we've seen Heupel do this, if Heupel would have been like a little mad at this guy, they could have gone out there and really walked the dog on these dudes. Because they just can't play. I mean, Aguilar, here's another thing, and I'm going to get this out of the way, and then we'll go to the phones. This is me editorializing. What's he doing running around a game like this? Brian, why is he taking hits in a game like this? Running around taking hits in that game?
The guy that hit him, I think, got the worst part of it, which is ironic about it.
Say that again?
I think the guy that hit him felt it more than he will.
Yeah, but the point is, quarterback at this level, when you have what Tennessee has behind them right now, which you saw, you don't need to expose him in a game like this. No. So I just want to get that out of the way. And then we'll go to the phones at 865-200-5402. Look, Tennessee was not as sharp as they've been in some of these directional games. This is the first time as a long favorite Tennessee hasn't covered. Generally, Heupel is going to blow these teams out and really put it on them. I was saying this week on the Daily Show, I didn't think that Tennessee and the line was the play this week simply because this team can score some points, and I knew they would get up and down the field on us a little bit, and the Kit and the guy can throw it around a little bit. But geez Louise, man, thank God that's over. Now Tennessee, next Saturday afternoon, goes on the road to Mississippi State. You're back in league play, and it's getting ready in this next stretch to get real. You want to end September on a good note. You want to get out of this month 4-1, give yourself a wide open run at running toward a playoff perhaps, because next week would really stunt that potentially. So, and you're going to walk into a building of a team that's unbeaten. Thank goodness you're going to play in the 3:15 local time window down there rather than what you could have been. So it's like a 4:15 Eastern time start next week. But we'll go to our phones at 865-200-5402 as Tennessee gets several guys in the receiving column. And today on the ground, Peyton Lewis was the Vols' leading ball carrier, but Star Thomas, again, continues to flash. But that, all in all, a pretty tough to watch football game. And thanks to the officiating, I think. I mean, they just took the rhythm of the game. What are we doing? I mean, do we have to call every damn thing? Let's go to the phones. 865-200-5402. Sean Sinclair will be heard momentarily as part of our ensemble cast today. TGMD will be by. C will be by. Eric Waddell will be by. Perhaps Kyle Blackburn, who's attending today, will be by. So maybe Willie, VIP play Will Heflin, will be by. Let's go to the phones. 865-200-5402. Because Garza Law Fifth Quarter Fan Reaction is about you. It is about you. And if you want to get in with us, please do on our TLD Logistics phone lines. Let's go to our phones and get our first call in. Hello and welcome. You're on the air.
Tony, Madison in Texas. How you guys
Hey,
doing?
Madison. Great to talk to you.
Tony, I got to say something. You ripped me and ripped a promo on this Syracuse team that's beating Clemson right now.
They hammered them. Yeah, they hammered them.
Yeah. It's a pretty good team. I think a few weeks ago you were kind of giving it to me saying that they weren't any good.
Clemson's quit playing. Clemson's quit playing, sweetheart. Clemson's quit on their coach. If you watched, I watched that game today, the first half. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. Clemson's quarterbacks quit playing, and Clemson's quit playing. But yeah, okay. Syracuse has. I'll tell you this: I wasn't expecting Syracuse to go to. Neither were the odds makers. I think it was a 15.5-point line. That's a pretty impressive win for Syracuse. But man, when Dabo Swinney said what he said this week, which is "We're down, get your licks in," he knows that his football team has quit on him, and it's official. They've quit on him.
Tony, that press conference, I was howling watching that thing. That was hilarious.
Nobody whines like him. Hey, Madison, nobody whines like Dabo Swinney. He's one of the best whiners in the sport.
He is. Well, Tony, we'll see how it plays out with Syracuse. We're just hanging out here in North Texas, drinking some adult beverages, grilling out, watching the Vols.
Let's go.
A big score. And
let's go. I want to hear those guys in the background. Let's go. I want to hear some people.
Let's go Vols, baby.
Hey, Madison, next week. L-S, go Vols, go. Hey, Madison, talk to me.
Yep.
This trip down to Mississippi State next week, funky place, funky time. Joey Aguilar, he's a new uncle. How's our team going to respond?
Tony, I'll be there in attendance. Looking forward to going to the game, because I got to travel to get to the games in Knoxville, and I'm not trying to run into a crowd issue where I get trampled or anything. So I'm going to go to the UAB game.
Yeah, I don't think Danny White's going to be in charge of crowd control down there. I don't think you have anything to worry about. It's a pretty good line, Madison.
Thankfully we'll be in the clear, but looking forward to it, Tony. I mean, we'll see how the atmosphere is. I know it's an earlier game. I mean, I'm sure they're going to be up and it's going to be loud.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be a tough place to play.
Yeah.
I think we'll take care of business. But I want to say one thing on Joey, and then I'll get out of here and let the other guys get in. Tony, I don't think I've ever seen a quarterback at Tennessee, and this includes Peyton Manning now. I don't want to be hyperbolic. I don't think I've ever seen anybody throw the deep ball the way that Joey does. And for a guy who played the receiver position, the way he throws it up high and gets that nose of that ball to dive down at a steep angle, I mean, Tony, it's impossible for a DB to make a play on it. That's why the Georgia DBs, it's not that like they're bad players. They don't have an angle to make a play on it, and it makes it very, very easy for a receiver to catch the ball. It's a high percentage throw. And if we can keep doing that, we're going to be tough to stop. But, of course, we got some defensive stuff and got a few things to clean up. But,
I say we do.
Very encouraged today.
I'm encouraged too. I say we do have a few things on defense to clean. Hey, thanks, man. Good talking to you. Look, Sean Sinclair, you and I, as I bring you in, we've talked on here in the past about how generally in games like this, Tennessee's, played pretty cleanly, right? I just think today they got pulled into a flag fest where it was hard to concentrate. And that game just kind of devolved into an ugly game there in the second half, Sean. That's kind of my read on it. I'm willing to excuse the Vols because I think the opponent was that bad, and I think the officiating crew might have been worse in terms of just they had to call everything like the Sadducees and Pharisees out there. Like, stop already. Your thoughts, Sean, on what we witnessed?
I agree.
Go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, go right ahead, my man.
I'm sorry. I agree with you. On a day like this where it's hot,
yep.
The kids just wanted to get in, get out, get their per diem money at the end of the day, make sure there's no injuries. The stuff you saw with the young kids, that's great. I would advise everybody, do not worry about results with young kids. It is what it is. The main thing is you want to get them on tape so you can keep them engaged during a possible redshirt year. The fact that, anybody can get out there and play, walk-ons, true freshmen, et cetera. It's good for your recruiting. It's good for the spirit of the team. It's just good for the meeting rooms. But it's so hard. The guy was talking about Joey does throw a nice long. My only thing with Joey, I think he was a little short. He holds the ball just a little too long. The two best I ever saw were Tony Robinson and Jeff Francis. Throwing long balls like that went, turned over just perfectly. But this kid's good. And, it was a test for him, too, because coming off the Georgia game where everyone's talking about him, and now you face UAB, there's a pressure to put more stats up, not play within yourself. And he was more than comfortable just handing it off to the running backs. I thought he had at least 3 or 4 drops that could have really padded. Easy catches that could have easily padded his stats. I don't think he was helped a whole lot by, especially the running backs. But you just, with all due respect, you want to get in, get out of this game, and then move on to your Saturday night and Mississippi State prep.
John Adams in the house of your News Sentinel, presented by Jennifer Morris, Next Move, SmokyMountains.com. We go back to the phones here momentarily. Hey, John, we were just talking about how this game, it's kind of plug and play. You want to get in, you want to get out. You don't want to get anybody hurt. And damn, UAB's defense, Sean, we knew they were bad by some of the stuff they gave up. Navy, a directional school from Texas, some of the things we've seen from them, just the points. But, man, seeing was believing. I was talking about off the top how that Brazil catch, that first one, it looked like a walkthrough almost, the way their defense just didn't even move. It's like, okay, we're just going to walk through. We're going to play against air now. And Tennessee could have beat that. Tennessee could have scored, John, 90 points on that team if they'd have felt like it today, the way UAB defends.
Yeah, I give UAB's offense credit. It actually, I thought, played pretty well. After the game was out of hand, most of that yardage came, obviously. But, it got no help from its defense. This was just a typical Josh Heupel Tennessee game.
Yep.
You give it a non-conference opponent early in September, and there's usually a blowout. Tennessee didn't pile on points at the end because its backups didn't produce anything. But there's been a consistent theme. Now, Tennessee scored over 40 in first 4 games. And that's
Wow.
never happened before.
Wow.
I was looking back through the press guide.
That's impressive.
Yeah. I mean, you would have think sometimes it might have with some of those big teams, but, it hadn't. But that's kind of a tribute to Tennessee under Heupel. The offense in particular doesn't seem to take any games off. I mean, it comes out guns a-blazing. We see a lot of other good teams around college football. They play down to the competition. They're not dominant in these games that they know they're going to win, and they don't have the same kind of overall superb play. But I thought Tennessee, the way it comes out, it's not wasting any time with these opponents that are outmanned, and that's what you need to do. The longer you keep an underdog in the game, the more emboldened it gets, the more confidence it gets. You don't get that way against Tennessee.
Oh, no, you get knocked out early. We go to the phones. 865-200-5402, presented by Marcos Garza, your Garza Law Firm. One note, John brings that 40-point mark up. I'll tell you this right now. I'm going to guarantee you this. Tennessee will put 40 on Arkansas when they come here. Because that Arkansas defense that I saw today down in Memphis is that's a horror show, okay? That's one horrible unit. If they can get 40 next week, they have a shot to start their first 6 games of a season scoring 40. Which, hey, man, one other note for you, and we talked about this earlier, Tennessee was back to their wide splits today. They showed their opponents, hey, we can play the other way too. We can play with the pro stuff last week, that mix we did last week. We're also going to go back and use our wide stuff against teams that can't defend us. So they can mix and match here with this quarterback, which is kind of fun. And it'll be interesting to see how they mix and match as the season goes along, drive to drive, game to game, how they vary it. Let's go to the phones. And welcome in. You're on Garza Law, 5th Quarter Fan Reaction, presented by Marcos Garza, the Garza Law Firm. Whether it's DUI, whether it's criminal defense, whether it's disability, whether it's personal injury, or any of a myriad of disciplines, going to treat you like family, Brian Kelly. That is Marcos Garza and the Garza Law Firm, online at garzalaw.com. Hello, welcome in. You're on the air.
Hey, guys, Dave.
Hey, Dave, welcome in.
If I don't see Merklinger again this year, I'll be happy. 'Cause he's horrible. That guy's horrible.
Sean Sinclair, what did you think of Merklinger's play? You and John Adams, what did you guys think of Merklinger today?
With all due respect, he's not an SEC quarterback. He's a roster guy. He's a utility guy. He's a safety guy. When all else fails, I have nothing bad to say about him as a person, but he's not built for this level.
John, what did you think of Merklinger when you saw him today in the game?
Well, he made Joey Aguilar look really good. When he honestly, he reminds me of some of Nico in this offense.
I agree with that.
He's his decision making. He seems unsure.
Yes,
he's late throwing the ball, and we see just the opposite with Aguilar. I would like to see more. I was hoping to see some of McIntyre because Merklinger did not look good. If you had to go with him as your quarterback, I think the offense would be in trouble. Now, it's just watching one game, but consider the competition.
My sense is of Merklinger is, and this is what you heard about him in camp, he holds the ball too long, which is an interesting thing John says, because if you notice today, he had to tuck and run a couple times instead of waiting for his progressions and things to develop downfield. And look, I'm not going to come on here with the inflammatory language that Negative has, but that's Negative's prerogative. He never wants to see him on the field again. I mean, that's a little rough, Negative. But it does not look like it. I mean, I heard that he got thoroughly outplayed by McIntyre, but I guess the thought is you got to keep everybody engaged. I'm surprised they didn't find a way to get McIntyre into this game a little bit. I'm surprised by that. Dave, anything else for us as the Vols get ready to go on the road to Mississippi State and they open up their road SEC slate?
Well, it was just 2 quarters of just, I don't know. It was pretty bad to watch.
Yeah, it was a rough watch the second half, no doubt. That offensive execution or lack thereof turned a really fun football game into kind of a slog fest there in the second half.
Yeah. Yeah, have a good day.
Thank you, brother. 865-200-5402. If you want to jump in with us, this Auburn-Oklahoma game, as we're doing a watch-along here, it's 3-3. And Auburn just had a weird special teams play where they ended up downing a ball on a punt return at their own 2-yard line. And the transfer from Oklahoma hits a long pass out to midfield. And Auburn's been driving with the football here early on. John, this is going to be a classic football game. One note for you, by the way, we'll be on Tuesday night when they announce the schedules. We're going to see who Tennessee's 3 permanent opponents are, and we're also going to get a look-see at who's on the schedule for next year. And we'll be on live right here Tuesday night, wherever you're seeing us, hearing us. If you want to call in and participate, we'll be talking about the 2026 football schedule as it's released by the league on a random Tuesday night in September. You got to love it. What did you guys think of the officiating today? And then I'll go back to the phones, because I found the officiating to be kind of awful today in that game. Let the teams play.
Yeah, I mean, a game like this, I don't even notice the officiating.
18 penalties. You didn't notice that? They kept throwing their flags.
Well, I'm just
so bad.
I'm starting to ride early in games like this.
There you go, brother. John's like, look, man, whatever. Let me go back to our phones, and we'll get our next call in. It's Garza Law, 5th quarter fan reaction. A couple lines available for you if you want to jump in. So if you've tried to call in past weeks and encounter busy signals, go for it. It's all yours. Hello and welcome in. You're on the air.
Yo, what's up, y'all? This is William from Georgia.
Hey, William, it was great meeting you yesterday and your father down there at Calhoun's on the river. That watered my soul, young man, meeting you, brother.
It was nice meeting you too, Tony. Now, let me just start off with the officiating. What the heck was that?
It was awful,
I just
Willie.
need to know.
It was awful, William.
So bad.
I mean, I would have let that hold go on us on the touchdown run from. I mean, let the kids play. Here Morris has a long touch. Let the kids play. I mean, my gosh, man.
Exactly. And that second half was just, oh my God, I wanted to vomit.
It was never ending. I'll say that.
It was never ending.
It was never ending. William, did you enjoy Neyland Stadium?
Yeah, they were going crazy. I was just watching it, and I'm like, holy crap, we're probably going to put up 50.
Oh, yeah, William. Like John said, 40 straight points, 4 games in a row. And to John's recollection, he can't find the last time they've done that, their first 4 games.
And I didn't see where they ever have.
And that's why doing that against a real defense last week, gives you some street cred.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Because that's what it's about. When you do it against a real defense, and Sean's right, too, from a Tennessee perspective, look, you're not going to come out and you're not going to play cleanly in a game like this after an emotional game like last week. And another thing that Sean pointed out, another great point, is Aguilar could have gone out there and been a stat sheet stuffer today, but he just followed the game plan. They ran the ball 3 times to begin the game. They had a swing pass to Peyton Lewis right in his hands for a touchdown that he dropped. There were a couple other drops. I mean, he easily could have been around 300 yards in that game. Easily.
He still got 3 TD passes.
He sure did.
So he's averaging 3 TD passes a game.
Wow.
And another thing that impressed me, we talk about how he's assimilated this offense and all the nuances of it just in a short amount of time. Was running that option. He ran that option to his left for a touchdown. he didn't score. He pitched it. But, man, he looked like he'd been running the option all his life on that play. Really well designed and well executed.
And, Sean, they want to get that stuff on film for other people, right? That's kind of the whole point of that. Give you something else to scout in a ball game like this.
Absolutely, because that's your third and fourth down killer right there. You want to what it's going to do is if you have a third or fourth and one, the defense typically will want to tighten up, get more condensed, and if you've got that on film, that's a weapon. John makes a great point. I mean, it's certainly not the Holloway kid from Oklahoma, but he pitched it at exactly the right time. He got the guy to commit, and then he let it go, I believe, with his left hand as a right-handed quarterback.
Yeah,
there was. I mean, the timing and the execution, albeit not Barry Switzer era Oklahoma, but that's not an easy thing. I mean, you wouldn't have seen Joe Milton or Nico pull that off, and I'm not ripping those. I just don't think they're as smooth an athlete as Joey is.
And the crazy thing is, William, this guy just kind of got here. He sort of fell into their lap, which has been well documented. There's nobody in America not cheering for this guy. Chris Storing on SEC Network, before they went to the telecast today, said, I didn't play at Tennessee. He said, I love this guy's story. That guy's on the field. I'm rooting for him. And I think that's a sentiment that a lot of people have about him. And he looks like he's been here 5 years. I mean, that's the thing about it. He looks so comfortable in that offense. It was just very workmanlike today, John. I thought it would take them 5 or 6 weeks, John, for him to look like he looked today. And he did that.
Can I add something, Tony? Can I add something real quick? In the stadium, it was great. We had this grandfather and this young grandson. Mm-hmm. They hadn't been there before. They're just sitting in front of our tickets. This kid couldn't have been 6 or 7. And every time he would do something, he would yell out, "Let's go, Joey! Let's go, Joey!" Point being is that crowd. If you can't tell it on TV, that crowd loves Joey Aguilar.
Amen.
Well, we were talking about this. We had Watson Brown on last Tuesday, and Watson was very good in his praise of Joey Aguilar, like a lot of people are praising him now. But the value of experience. And he's traveled, he's been all over the place, Joey has, in different schools, and he was at UCLA for the spring. So he's learned all these different systems. So and even in games it shows up because there's really, as much as he's played, the guy's passed for over 7,000 yards now. You wouldn't, he's not seeing something he hasn't seen before.
No doubt about it. William, anything else for us? Great call, brother. Always good to talk to you.
So, the offense, the first one, not the one with Merklinger. He sucks. They did amazing.
William, you're the man.
Going on the road to Mississippi, mistake, as you call them.
It's time to ball out, William. It is time to ball out.
I think we're going to win.
Yeah, and Cinco, you've been there. You've been there and done that. You've gone with the team down to that place. You've been inside the apparatus there. There's just something about that place. That is a funky, funky place to play football.
It really is. It's, Ole Miss has their thing. I contend they're self-important. Mississippi State, Starkville. It's not Jackson. It's not Oxford. It's its own little thing. And I don't know if people still say it. I'm an old man now, but it's just a neat place. And they're neat people. Their little cowbell thing is cool. It's loud. It's distracting.
Yes.
But it's uniquely theirs. And I think that's cool. But it is a place and they have the athletes. If you don't take care of business, if you don't come down there ready to play, you could find yourself in trouble.
Josh,
one of the things I've noticed, Sean, through the years, and I was a columnist in Jackson for 2 years, way back in the late 70s. There's some good athletes, a lot of good football players in Mississippi per capita. And so many times I've seen guys at Mississippi State, offensive and defensive linemen, who didn't make All-SEC, didn't make first, second, or even third-team All-SEC, end up playing 7 or 8 years in the NFL. I mean, they always have some players, and even though the coaches change from year to year, styles of play change, Mississippi State is usually a very physical team. You know you've been in a game when you play them.
No question.
Well, John, there's a reason for that. When I was working in the recruiting office, that you're right. At Georgia, that whole Gulf Coast, it just produces incredible defensive linemen, defensive ends. But for whatever reason, Mississippi, whether it's along the coast or just up from there, those kids they're mama's boys, and I mean that in a good way. And a couple of them will they'll get infatuated with the big time programs, but you'd be absolutely surprised at how many of those kids just want to stay close to home, and they do. They may not be first teamers or All-American and get all the thing, but a lot of those guys will turn it. Look at Chris Jones of my Kansas City Chiefs. I know he was a great player,
right.
But they've got a lot of those kind of.
Hey, how about
a lot of those kind of players down there?
How about my guy Fletcher Cox from the Eagles?
There's another one. And see, when you go back, I don't, and maybe I'm wrong on this, but I don't remember those two players as being viewed in the SEC as the elite players at their positions.
You're exactly right, John. It's a very interesting point to bring up. And by the way, 865-200-5402. If you want to join us, we'd love to hear from you, and our lines are wide open for you. This is not going to be a heavy phone day after a game like this, because this is a blow-through-'em game. It's time for our T3 TD of the game. Every week we crown the T3 Vodka TD of the game. Brian Hartman's going to give it to us. It's Tennessee's premium vodka, handcrafted with passion, precision, and a whole lot of pride. Your T3 Vodka is taking the Volunteer State by storm. I was sitting in the park today wearing my T3 Vodka hat, and I got a couple compliments from a couple people. Said, "Well, that's a cool hat, man." Hey, listen, you think the hat is cool, you need to try the vodka, where quality isn't just a promise, it's a way of life. It's filtered 10 times, it's 80 proof. T3 Vodka delivers a smoothness unmatched, dedication to excellence. It's a 5-time gold medal winning vodka, 2025 SIPS Consumer Choice Award winner. Whether you're sipping it neat on the rocks or mixing your favorite cocktail, T3 Vodka, your choice for premium award-winning experience. Score a T3 TD today. Ask for it by name at your wine and spirit store or at your local restaurant or watering hole. T3 Vodka. Ask for it by name. Athens Distributing Company. Drink responsibly. Brian, what's our T3 Vodka TD of the game?
Well, I like this play because it shows just how many different types of ways they can score.
Yep.
And I think you talked about it earlier. It was 28-7. UAB had just scored a TD to pull within 28-7, their first score of the day. And the Vols needed to do something to close out the first half. And because UAB was going to get the ball first in the second half. Well, you had the Joey Aguilar running the option, and Peyton Lewis, who you don't really think of as someone who has tremendous speed, but he got the pitch and went untouched pretty much for 32 yards for a 35-7 lead. I like some diversity. I like the fact that when you can show that you can run option, teams can't, on a short yardage situation, bunch up on you. And that's what they did. They got everybody outside. So that just makes this offense more dangerous. And Joey, it didn't really look like naturally he could do that. But, I mean, he did. He ran the option perfectly, and Lewis just was untouched.
And to Sean's point,
I think Peyton Lewis is – you're underestimating his speed, Brian. I think he's pretty fast.
Oh, he can move. But let's go to the phones. The guy that looks like he's got the shake and wiggle to me from their three, though, is a Star Thomas guy, which I'm very surprised by. But he looks to me like he's got the shake and the wiggle. Oklahoma just got away with a pick play. They're up 10-3. Ravano Freeze is freaking out over on the sidelines. And this is a classic football game now. Having Oklahoma in the SEC is a lot of fun. A lot of fun. It's a very cool place. A very, like Sean was saying, very neat fan base, if I can use that term. And this is fun. Let's go to the phones. Hello and welcome in.
I like watching that Sooner schooner come out on the field.
You're on Garza Law, fifth quarter fan reaction. Congratulations to Josh Heupel, who records win number 40 today at the University of Tennessee pretty quickly. I mean, this guy's racking up some wins now. Hello and welcome in. You're on the air.
Tony.
Yes.
How are you, sir? First-time caller.
Hey, thank you. It's an absolute pleasure.
Tony, I think you and I were on campus about the same time back in the old days.
Uh-oh.
I believe I'm right about that.
Uh-oh.
We're out-of-towners. We listen to you on podcasts, me and several others.
Nice.
And so thank you for all your content. And I'm glad John Adams is on here because I remember back in the day, he'd print something in the paper that pissed everybody off. So
not John. Not John. That's not John. No, never.
Tony, we're going to draft a letter this week and send it register mail to Nico's dad, thanking him for what he did in April. He did me and my football team and program a solid, and we're forever grateful for him for doing that.
You know, that is a great point. Let me know when you send me a copy of it, okay? When you send it on to him, we'll put it on the blog.
We'll be happy to. We're going to tip our hat to him.
Yeah.
He actually did us a favor, and I didn't realize it at the time, and my buddies didn't either, but we're going to really thank him for that. And I'm so glad it worked out the way it did. And you know what? Joey needs to be the hero, and we're certainly pulling for him and his family and so forth. Let me bounce around, Tony, and I'll get out of here. One, Merck doesn't fit the system. So here's a situation. Let's say Aguilar gets a flat tire in a game, some sort. Merck's not your backup. He's not the kid to come in. He's probably a fine young man. He's going to be starting somewhere else next year. Mac is your guy to come in. They need to give the reps to Mac. When the game's put away, let him go in there, throw some passes, run the offense. Merck didn't fit your system. He does not fit it.
The problem with McIntyre is he's a true freshman. They don't want to get him hurt. You want your guy.
Guess what?
I agree with you. I agree with you. I agree with you. No, listen. This Merklinger guy had a really bad summer. He was not very good in the spring. He does not fit what they do. He continues a pattern of guys they've recruited that when you see him on the field, and we won't know about McIntyre till we see him. But I mean, Sean, you can comfortably say that he continues a pattern of guys that they identify that for whatever reason doesn't fit what they do. He does not fit what they do, Sean.
Oh, and I want to say this with all respect: is Mac
is what?
As a bridge can do. They had McIntyre,
sure,
and they needed a guy to be on scholarship that would come onto campus, that was not going to scare anybody off. That McIntyre would come in, and then you could have Faze on as well. It kind of is what it is. I hate to break, and I get it what you're talking about. McIntyre, George McIntyre, or Merklinger are not going to win you at this moment any upper level SEC games. They're just not physically ready, and they just don't have enough experience. I wouldn't want McIntyre in there live bullets against Oklahoma or someone. He's not ready.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I don't think they feel like he's ready. They love his future, though. They really love his future.
Tony, you don't start him, okay? I agree with that.
Yeah.
But if you get a flat tire, he's your next best chance to win at that point. You don't throw in the white towel. If Aguilar limps off the field, you go with your best next chance, and he's it. Merck's probably a fine young man, but he's not. He doesn't fit the system. He looks confused. He looks indecisive.
Yeah, he does.
He'd probably, in my opinion, Tony, you may have another opinion. He may be much better in an old style pro offense or something. But give the young man a chance. Go out there, block for him. Give GMAC a chance to throw the football, run the offense, and grow. He didn't come here to watch football. He came here to play football.
Thank you, my friend. Listen, send me that letter when you
draft it. The McIntyres don't want him on the field right now.
865-200-5402. John made a really good point, though, about Merck, which is an interesting way of putting it. He looks like Nico in that offense. It's very strange.
Tony,
it's very
I
strange.
think it's interesting. I think it'd be quite different in Philadelphia. You're from there. How fans, when they are critical of a play like Merklinger, they feel compelled to say, but, I think he's a fine young man, or, nothing against him personally.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you don't really need to say that. Nobody's saying he's a bad person. You're just evaluating what he did on a football field.
Well, in Philly, when Mariota was the backup there, they called him Scariota on the radio. So if that means anything,
that's what I mean.
I
don't think anybody said. But he may be a fine person.
No, they were calling him Scariota and saying, "We hope we never see him." The guy does have an interesting point, though, which is this: your job's to win games. And you're going to put Merklinger in against a real SEC team, and looking at him today and looking at him as they've looked at him in the summer, they know he's going to get swallowed. And so there does become a point where, or maybe there doesn't, where McIntyre becomes a choice. I don't know. Hopefully we don't have to see that. I'll tell you this. If I had their backup situation, the last thing I would be doing is running Joey Aguilar around like they were today in a blowout game. I know you're going to run your offense, but geez, man, and get on the ground, dude. Get on the ground when you're playing these teams. There is nothing, and I mean nothing, to gain from that. As we get ready and go back to our phones, Oklahoma and Auburn in an absolute just slugfest that's turned on a special teams play as Oklahoma leads the game 10-3. And by the way, my friends at Waterside Contracting, maybe you've got a dream about buying some land, building on that land. Well, let me tell you this. Waterside Contracting is your ticket. Your ticket. 25 years of making dreams come true. Hundreds of folks in our area, custom homes or remodels. You go over to their website at watersidecontractingllc.com, watersidecontractingllc.com, and see what I'm talking about, because they're going to make your dreams come true. What you going to do, Michael Scott? Going to make my dreams come true. That's exactly right. Waterside Contracting, and they can also do remodels for you, custom build homes, you name it, they do it. Tell them TB sent you as we go back to our phones. It's Garza Law, fifth quarter fan reaction, and Oklahoma and Auburn are hammering each other. Hello and welcome in. You're on the air.
Hey, Tony, is it me?
It is you. Go right ahead.
All right, Matt from Mount Juliet, guys. Hope everybody's doing good today.
Hey, Matt, great to hear your voice.
Hey, yeah, you too, man. Hey, not much take away from today. I mean, it's a nice little balance. I thought Joey looked good consistently. I was shocked to hear that 40-point straight run. That was a stat I wasn't familiar with, but
me too.
There's some highlights on the year and some things to be happy with. I'm still very disappointed about last week, and was really hoping we'd get through that, break the streak on Georgia, but hell of a game, and I think if it comes down to playoff time, at the end of the year, and depending on how we do for the rest of the season, losing to Georgia like that in overtime isn't going to hurt us as bad as getting our asses handed to us by 14, 17 points like it could have been or should have been. But pretty impressed with them so far. Tony, wouldn't mind hearing from you and the panel. When you look at the schedule for the rest of the year, and I know it's all speculative and anything can happen, but how do you guys see the rest of the season going from a win-loss column, in your heart of hearts? I'll hang up and listen. Appreciate what y'all do.
Thank you, my brother in Mount Juliet. Here's my thing about this. I'm convinced after watching this league that it's a week-to-week deal. And so from a win-loss record, I had Tennessee before the year 8-4, 9-3. I still think this team's capable of 9-3. Some people don't want to hear that. Now, you could have walked out of Neyland Stadium last week as the favorite in the league to get to the playoffs, which is exactly what Georgia is. Georgia has the highest odds now to get to the playoffs out of the league after that win. And Texas A&M has jumped into that conversation as well because of that win on the road. See, one signature win early in the season can really change your fortunes. and that's just how the sport is. I'm convinced these teams lay one on top of the other. I'm convinced that the game in 2 weeks, or next week in Starkville, is losable. I'm convinced that the Arkansas team, if we don't start getting some defensive players back, could be an absolute mess because just a scoring fest, because they're going to score on us and we're going to score a ton of points on them. But week to week in this league, I don't know if in my 40 years of being here, if I've ever seen a league where the teams just lay one on top of the other. And John, I think it's too early to speculate. It looks to me like these teams are right on top of each other here. John, there. That's just kind of the way I read it. Let me bring Matt Dixon in, who was at the ball game today. Matt, your thoughts? Then we go back to our phones. TGMD in the house.
Yeah, well, you took care of business. Offense, was kind of throwing versus air.
Yep.
In the first quarter and into the second quarter before you dialed it back. Really sloppy second half when you're rotating a bunch of guys, put a bunch of backups in, but took care of business. Feels like you got through the game relatively healthy, which is obviously key. I know Jalen McMurray, got helped off, but I think he came back. So you took care of business and so big, it's just a nice win to, stress-free to get ready for next week, where I guess Northern Illinois just took a 10-7 lead in Starkville.
There we go. How funny would that be, Matt, if they lose to a directional school today? Which would be their history. That would be their history.
Yes, and NIU went and won at Notre Dame last year, so it's not like they're not capable. They're one of those teams that they don't have a lot of guys leave, like they don't transfer out. It's kind of a really well-run program. I like their coach a lot.
So that's another one we'll watch as we watch this Oklahoma game as well. So they're in our time slot. And then the following week's opponent, Arkansas, just was dreadful in the second half on defense today. I mean, I must call it what it is. They were taking bad angles, and they got beat. They had a 2.5 score lead in that game in the western part of our state, and Memphis took it to them. And, Sean, I'll tell you this. Memphis, place where you went down there to dental school, and I know you know a lot of people in that area, I mean, they have done a really nice job with their football program in the league they're in, and that's a very nice win for them to get a middle bottom, which is what Arkansas is, to bottom, somewhere in that neighborhood, SEC win. And now all of a sudden in their league, they're right in the middle of that playoff hunt in their league, because it's going to be them or Comrade Golish, and there's one other one in that league.
They really are, and I'm happy for the folks down there, because usually they don't have a whole lot to celebrate. They're right in the central point of Ole Miss, Mississippi State, Alabama, believe it or not, Arkansas, Tennessee, a couple of other ones around there. That's a very nice win. You're exactly right. That's been a launching pad for coaches, Norvell, Fuente. Now, when they leave there, who knows how they turn out, but they do a whole lot without a whole lot of recognition, with not a whole lot of resources. Even though FedEx pumps some in there, but I'm really glad they turned that in. If I could say that about the rest of the year beforehand, I'm not going to walk it back. I thought we were an 8-4 team. I still think that's a possibility. However, Joey Aguilar is much better than I thought. The wide receiver concerns or things that I have been completely neutralized. We have a very good wide receiver core, but I would think as the rest of the year, John Mateer is good enough to come in here and give us problems. I don't know what he's doing in the game right now, but he's that dude from what I've seen of him last year and early this year. And then going to Florida and going to Alabama, certainly with our history, is always a challenge. But I think everything's on the table. I think 11-1's on the table, to be quite honest with you. 8-4, I'm wrong. I don't think that we'll go 8-4. I underestimated this team. But at 9-3, 10-2, 11-1, I think those are all equal. I think they're all equal possibilities.
You said it better than I did. Let's go back to the phones. I agree with that. By the way, the game's 10-3. Mateer just turned the ball over at midfield Oklahoma was getting ready to look like they were getting ready to drive and do something, but his ball
How did
handling.
they let them get away with that, subbing the guy on the sideline for that touchdown pass?
And that's what
like how did the officials let them get away with that?
And Freeze freaked out over it. And Matt, why didn't they review it? Why didn't they review it?
I don't know how the guy ran off the field and then he came back on and like hit on the sideline and nobody covered him. I don't know how, like, Freeze should have been upset about that.
Hey, John, the old hidden receiver trick. I love the old hidden receiver trick. Let's go back to the phones. I thought he was talking about a pick play, but he was actually talking about the hidden receiver trick. As we go back to the phones, hello and welcome into the next call as you're on our Garza Law 5th Quarter Fan Reaction. Hi.
Hey, Tony, this is Big Dog in West Tennessee.
Hey, my man, how you doing?
Man, I'm doing good. I thought it's been a while since I called in, but I thought what a good day to call in after a nice, easy volunteer victory.
Oh, yeah. Great to hear your voice, brother.
And, you know, what Dr. Sean was just saying, like, I can't think of anything worse than Memphis beating Arkansas today, especially living down here amongst these Tiger High folks. I mean, I've been to many Memphis games, especially growing up as a kid down here, and seen some really bad football, but I'm telling you, I don't want to see Memphis, on that P4 cusp or whatever it is, that they could possibly sneak into playoffs if they're that good.
I know,
but,
and they've got a nice little program. Like that was that was a nice win for them today, wasn't it? I mean, we got to admit it. That was a nice win for them. They came from 17 down. I mean, they were getting blown out at one point.
Yeah, and my son Little Dog was there when Tennessee stuff. So I mean, he's spreading the big ones down there.
That's fun. If you're a kid and you live down there, yeah, if you're a kid and you want to go see some college football, I mean, in a lot of ways, I kind of get that. When I was a kid, I used to go to Temple games when I was a kid in Philly, and you talk about the height of desperation when you're watching damn Temple play college football. I mean, my gosh, in Veterans Stadium back in the day, that's the worst.
Oh yeah, no, and anytime I wanted to watch like any SEC football around here, I'd go down to Ole Miss. I saw quite a few games when I was, in high school and stuff like that.
That's
but,
cool.
One of the things I wanted to bring up about today's game.
Sure.
I'm not a gambler, but at the same time, I cannot stand when we don't cover the spread. And so at the end of the game, I'm in here just watching it. My wife is sitting on the couch. She's like, "Why are you getting mad over them about the score? You're going to win the game." I said, "It doesn't matter." I said, "The spread's 35, and it's going to make this a 31-point game." I said, "I want to cover the spread." And I just hate that last end of the game trash football like that.
Well, and it like Sean said, and Matt said it earlier, they're attempting to play a lot of guys, and a great way of looking at it is I got to get stuff on film for you playing in a game, and I got to keep you engaged in my program. I would like to see the game officiated a little differently in that spot. These officials, I mean, come on now, time and place, 18 total penalties in that game. Nobody comes to watch these guys throw their flags. So, and it's just, the game just got so bad in the second half from that perspective.
Yeah, it almost got to the point you kind of like, it almost felt like two different games being played.
Exactly.
But, there at the end, I did love that Heupel threw the ball there a couple of times and almost got a touchdown.
Me too.
To me, after what happened earlier in the game when that guy stepped on Gilbert's foot, or stomped on it, you go for 70 or 80 in this game in that situation. And I felt like I like that Heupel showed restraint, but I just thought that's a chance to go ahead and pound, just let them have it.
The weirdest thing about UAB today is if the rest of their team would have played with that kid's effort, hey, more power to them. The guy's out there stomping on our kicker's foot. The truth is, their defense, if we wanted to, we could have scored 90 points on them.
Oh, yeah.
They don't even try. They don't. Seeing is believing. I have people tell me that they are well, first of all, they gave up like 40-something to Navy, and then a directional score from Texas put 50 on them. I mean, seeing was believing. Hey, Matt, they profile worse defensively than that ETSU team does by the metrics, by the numbers. That kind of passes the eyeball test, Matt Dixon, when you watch that UAB team, because it is going against air, as you said.
Yeah, They're so bad that it's really hard to judge just how bad they are because Tennessee could have scored on every possession they wanted to and done it, very quickly.
Especially, Matt, when those wide
they
splits.
They can't cover anybody. No. They don't have any. I mean, they're just not good at all. I'm not sure what they try to do even. They're so bad and out of position.
Well, the first team offense only had one possession where they didn't score a touchdown, and they had a turnover where it looked like pass interference.
Well, that's exactly right. That's exactly right, Bri. That was a pass interference, not call.
Well, guys, if I could add, these are the. Okay, so it's easier to cut with a very sharp knife. The analogy is on this one, in a game like this, to look crisp is very difficult. You think that everyone just goes out there and you throw the perfect pass like Matthews, the first touchdown every single play. Well, it's not the case because not a lot of those kids are working at 100% like they were at Georgia.
That's exactly right.
It gets a little bit more difficult because not all 5 offensive line, and I'm not blaming them, it's human nature. Not everybody's firing off the same. The timing of pass patterns is just a little bit different because everybody doesn't have that edge. It's just natural. So I give credit. I mean, how many times have we seen Georgia take on one, and we can say they sleepwalk, but it's the same kind of thing.
It is.
For a long while, we looked very crisp.
And Dog, that's why if it's me, I'm telling my quarterback in games like this, you get your ass on the ground, man. You do not need to be getting hit in the open field against Alabama Birmingham. What are we doing?
No, yeah, and I agree with that. Like you don't run him in a game like this, especially with with the way that DB did to our kicker. But at the same time, you just don't want these the Syracuse wins looking better and better. But it looked like Angeli went out with a non-contact injury that didn't look good.
I hate seeing that.
I hate that for him. But on my way out. One of my first memories as a Tennessee fan was when I was younger, and as my dad was beginning his early ministry career as a singles minister at his church here in Memphis. We didn't have cable, so we went over to my grandparents' house to watch the 1990 Tennessee-Mississippi State game.
Let's
Tony
go.
Thompson ran wild on the Bulldoggies. And I'll be in the building next week. I got tickets, and we're going down there, and we plan to come back with a Tennessee victory. But that little shovel pass that Joey threw for the touchdown reminded me of kind of those type plays back in the early former years. And I'd love to see that fumble Ruski as we just keep pounding all over Mississippi State next week. Go Vols.
Hey, Cinco, that Saturday afternoon game, it was hotter than blue blazes here. Who had the fumble Ruski, Sean? Do you remember?
Yeah, down at Mississippi State, that was Bernard Daphne.
Bernard Daphne
from
Miami.
Took off down the left sideline, and he was gone.
That is one of the coolest things. Kids, look it up on YouTube. Bernard Daphne at Mississippi State. Kids, find it on YouTube. Mississippi State just scored. They're up 14-10 now on Northern Illinois, and it's 10-3. Auburn with the football as time is a-ticking. As there's
here's a funny story about Mississippi State. That game is during. So anyway, one of their backs, Mississippi State's backs, it was away from the thing, and he took off for a long run. And I don't know if it was Doug Matthews or somebody yelled at Terry McDaniel. If anybody remembers it, Terry McDaniel just yelled, "Go get him!" And if you go back and watch the highlights, Terry McDaniel was not part of the play. Tracked him down. I mean, it's like a 75-yard run. Walked him down, and stole the ball from him, and started heading back the other way. And it was Matthews or somebody said, "Go get him." He just took off like a rocket.
865-200-5402. Love stories like that. Hey, Big Dog, shout out to you for shouting out the fumble Ruski. As we go back to the phones and get our next call in on your TLD Logistics phone line. Hello and welcome in. You're on the air.
What's up, everyone? It's Music City Sam.
Hey, Sammy, welcome in, buddy.
Man, that was the stark difference between Aguilar to Merklinger was just, it was literally like going from Joey this year to Nico 2.0. I hate to be that harsh about it, but the offense is just night and day different.
John Adams said it, and that thought never occurred to me, but that's what the offense looks like when you're holding the ball. That's just it's constipated. There's no chance for you to succeed when you have a quarterback back there that's a tick late with it. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah, that's the difference in football. It's a little half second.
Yeah.
And it's completely different.
Yeah, and the ball kept sticking to Merklinger. The ball kept sticking to Merklinger, and twice early he the thing that really bogged one of the drives down was he had a receiver. He just did not let it go.
Yeah, they showed it from behind the play where you're seeing it wide open.
Yes.
But, I don't take a whole lot from this game one way or the other. It just is what it is. I'll be curious to see what happens at Mississippi State, specifically on the defensive side. But I'm not too overly worried about the offense because, man, they just look like they're in such good rhythm. And each game that goes along, the offensive line, more reps together, receivers, all of it. It's pretty encouraging. And this is a public service announcement, but never bet on the full-time spread on one of these games. Only do the first half because Heupel will always cover the first half spread.
Well, he generally is pretty good in these too, but to your point, the number today was the team total. My guys on the Winners and Losers show presented by Dos Equis hammered that because 54.5 was a layup today. Now, it almost wasn't. You almost needed a defensive score. But against that defense, you'd have to sleepwalk and not score 50 points if you're Tennessee or 55 points. That was a layup today. Stone-cold layup. I mean, a stone-cold layup.
Yeah, and also the first quarter spreads with – when our offense looks like this, I got a first quarter spread at 10.5.
God, 10.5? You were at the cage like 5 minutes into the game, man. 10.5. Meet me at the cage, brother. Meet me at the cage.
Hey, I joked after the Syracuse game, VIP Will is going to have to find another job for the amount of money I'm taking from them.
All right. Keep going, brother. Keep it up.
Oh, no, but, this is a fun season to watch. During the show this week, we were talking about, do you prefer watching this team that gives up some points or last year's team? And it's not even close.
But last year's team was a playoff team, and who knows where this year's team's going. That's what I'm asking. That's
it's
the
still
thing.
More fun.
I agree with that. So I agree with that, Sam. This thing with this quarterback and this endearing story and the fact that he's been here for whatever he's been here for, it feels like he's been here for 3 years. It's the damnedest thing ever, man. This guy feels as all vol as anybody. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, yes, we did make the playoff last year.
Yep.
But knowing what our offense, in hindsight, you can say there was no chance we're going anywhere in that playoff with an offense that we had.
No. And if this guy, you get in with this guy, you can beat most people in front of you in today's college football. They showed you that last week.
Yeah, especially if our defense can start to clean up stuff, get some guys back, catch a little fire on that side. That's the encouraging part. If you can get them to turn a page and you put up points like we do, sky's the limit. You got to stay healthy, but every team's got to stay healthy. It's kind of a crapshoot in itself.
Thank you, my friend. Hey, great talking to you, Sammy. Sammy, you're
the man.
We've got to
get healthy defensively.
You're exactly right, Matt. They can't afford another injury. Like McMurray today going down, you can't afford that. You've got to get Moy back.
Carter's lost on defense. Totally lost.
You got to get Moy back next week.
You can laugh. It's true.
No, I'm not laughing. I'm laughing at how
he has no clue what he's doing out there.
Hey, Matt, I'm laughing at how unserious he is. That's all I'm laughing about when I think about
you can see it on the punt return.
He's a waste of talent.
Fair call.
He's a waste of talent. Is what he is.
We're talking about Aguilar. One of the things that we've got to clean up is those kind of botched handoffs, and we've fumbled one of those in every game.
Yes,
had some snapping issues. Those things have to get cleaned up, and going on the road will be a big test of that next week.
Hey, John, we just saw that with Mateer here a second ago, and that's been an issue with him, and they just laid one down at midfield. I just think that's transfer quarterback football, John. I just think that's going to be a thing for the first half of these seasons until these guys play together. The ball handling stuff.
Yeah, that could be a factor, but running that play, it happens even with experienced guys. When you're doing that zone read and the quarterback's trying to decide whether he should take it or hand it off. I tell you what, watching this Oklahoma and Auburn game, these teams are both pretty good.
Hell yes. I mean,
Oklahoma, their defense, and you mentioned it earlier. This might be the hardest hitting game I've seen this year.
Hey, listen, if you want to listen to us and follow along, because we're not going to spoil it for you, we'll watch a game with you here as we do this thing. This game right here is one that you need to get in front of a TV and look at if you like college football, because these two teams are hammering. They're hammering each other, and this game's had a little bit of everything so far. And this Auburn bunch is not afraid. And this quarterback who's come back home is come back to show them, hey, I'm not bad. I can play. And so far, he's held up his end of the bargain. They've had an interference penalty in the end zone on a well-thrown ball, and Oklahoma is teeing off on him. So it's a fun game.
Oh, he's been under so much pressure.
It's a fun game. Let me shout out my friends at Dos Equis.
Oklahoma can't cover Auburn's receivers.
That's exactly right, Matt. And Auburn had two great ones last year, two young kids, and nobody knew it. And now they have a third one, that Singleton kid they got from Georgia Tech. So, Matt, here's a question for you before I do my Dos Equis deal. John came on here before and said this is the first time Tennessee scored 4 straight games to start a year.
To open a season.
Yeah, to open a season. 40 straight points to open a season. Can they do that next week, Matt? Is that within the realm of possibility at Mississippi State in your mind?
Yes, it's certainly possible. I'd probably say mid to high 30s because it's a game. It could be a very high possession game from both teams. So, yeah, and with the way Tennessee's defense has been leaky so far, you probably need to score points. So you might get into the 40s again. It wouldn't shock me at all.
And I want to just back up here on when Matt and I had our exchange about Boo Carter. He goes, "Why are you laughing?" I'm laughing because Boo Carter is not serious. Can you imagine if you had his God-given ability, Matt, with a pretty good work ethic, how good you could be? Like if you were just serious about it, serious about what you were doing.
He missed half the summer. I mean,
that's a problem. That could be a problem. I mean, can you imagine though? Matt, how good could that kid be if he decided to do it?
He would be the best player on your defense.
Okay. But instead, he doesn't know where he's at.
As it stands now, he's not even a starter.
No.
And for good reason.
And Sean said it a couple weeks ago when we were talking about reinserting him in the lineup. He goes, Sean said he's a dynamic player, but he's kind of lost. And by the way, they went right back to that sophomore, who's a hell of a player. And that's a touchdown for Auburn. And this Coleman guy is a really nice player. You could see it last year. They didn't anybody get the ball to him. They've got 3 excellent, and I mean excellent wide receivers that Auburn team does. We go back to the phones. If they can hold up on the offensive line today, they got a chance to steal a win here at Oklahoma. Dos Equis. If I'm Auburn, I go for Dos. No, I'm just kidding. But I want to say go for Dos because they just scored, Because that's what you say. You say go for Dos because it's Dos Equis. It's the Lager Especial Golden Pilsner style beer made from a choice of hops, balanced composition, smooth, clean finish. It's your party guest who always invited, never overstays his welcome. I've known a few people in my life that they don't take a hint, It's like, oh, I'm tired over here. You're not going to get that with Dos Equis. Golden Pilsner style beer, nuanced blend of malts and earth tones. And here's the thing about it. We're talking about a lager beer. Most well-known Dos Equis Lager Especial, Pale Ale Lager. Also try their Ambar Especial, a Vienna Lager with a richer flavor. So which one's it going to be? Grab Dos. And go for Dos Equis, Cervezas Mexicanas, White Plains, New York. As we go back to our phones here, 2025, White Plains, New York. I'm even reading the fine print. I'm so fired up, focused, and prepared as we get our next call in on a day where the Vols roll the Blazers, who on defense look like they smoked a few today. That first touchdown, I can't get over that. I'm telling you, that looked like when Brazel caught the ball in the end zone. Nobody moved. Like, what are we? I mean, what is going on? Hello. I mean, I'm not laughing at Alabama Birmingham's club, but I kind of am because what are you doing? I mean, what? You didn't even. Hello and welcome into our next call. You're on the air.
Hey, Tony, it's Andrew Maryville.
Hey, Andrew, welcome in.
Hey, yeah, I'm not sure if you were watching that Syracuse game. It did look like Angeli popped his Achilles there.
Oh, God, no. Please don't tell me that.
It was,
That's
yeah,
awful,
it was that
dude.
classic, stretching, running a little bit, and yeah. He's like top 3 or 4 in the country in passing yards, and he had 250 today before he went out. I mean, he's been on fire.
I turned it off at 28-7.
Yeah.
Here's the thing I'm convinced of. The guy that their offensive coordinator knows what he's doing at Syracuse. We can say that 2 years of watching them. And Clemson has Andrew stone cold quit this year. They're done. That's it for them.
I could have believed the offense would struggle. I mean, they lost Antonio Williams, and I've never believed in Cade Klubnik, but seeing that defense get shredded is it's shocking. Because they got 2 guys on the D line that are both projected like top 20.
Yeah, they have
something like that.
Yeah, they have an SEC defensive line, is what they have, and you saw that in the LSU game. Seeing was believing for me today. They've unplugged. Their coach said, "Hey, line up on us or get your licks in now." So I guess Syracuse said, "I think that's exactly what we're going to do, Dabo. We're going to get our licks in now." I hate hearing that about Angeli, though. I hope that's not true. I hate. I'm going to take your word for it, though, Andrew. I hate hearing that about him.
Yeah, you need to ask your winners and losers guys to set the line on how long Dabo's answer is going to be this week in his press conference. Because 13 minutes after a close loss at Georgia Tech, now a blowout loss at home. That's horrible.
Well, it might be time for him to plant another caller on his call-in show, like he did, Matt, a couple years ago. Might be time for another plant caller.
Tyler from Spartanburg might show up again next week.
Tyler in Spartanburg on the line.
You wonder what that answer and all the stuff he said about I'll go somewhere else and win, what that does to your team.
That's my point.
Like he's more interested in defending himself and his record than talking about this team.
Hey, John, is that possible? Can kids unplug on a guy in your experience? When you hear a coach talking like that?
Definitely they can. Now, I think he has a good relationship with his players. He has in the past, but I don't know, I don't know what's going on with this team. But this team is not without talent. It's got talent on that team. I think they put a lot of import on that LSU game and lost that game, and I think that hurt them. But that doesn't account for all this. What's happened next? I also think Georgia Tech's really a pretty good team.
Agreed.
And I even had them making the playoff in preseason,
which is pretty credible at this point. And by the way, they've unplugged.
Yeah.
That if you guys would have seen what I saw today in that first half, because I had them both on, because I'm not gonna lie to you, I had Clemson covering the spread today, and I feel like a damn idiot. I'm looking at that going, what in the world?
They barely scored 17.5 points.
Exactly. I mean, it was. They're, to Andrew's point, Andrew's right.
I just don't think they're any good. They have talent, but they're just not a well-coached. They're just not a good team.
Amen.
They have talent on defense. Their defense was awful last year compared to the talent they have.
Amen.
I've never seen it with Klubnik. Still looks like a high school quarterback to me.
Amen. You're getting no arguments from me.
Tony, last year their best win last year was a close last-second win against SMU, who was fraudulent already.
Yes.
They got blown out by Georgia. They lost. Yes. They got pushed around at home by Louisville. They didn't even cover against Texas. I mean, they weren't that good last year.
Well, I got fooled by the Klubnik hype. I'm not alone. This is a year where the Joes are outplaying the pros in major college football, and it's made the game really interesting 1 month in, Andrew.
Yeah. I missed the first part of the show, so I'm not sure if y'all talked about the running back room, but I understand when we're going fast, we're not going to sub, and certainly the first couple drives we're going to give each guy a go. But when it comes down to the fourth quarter, clutch time, or you got a drive where you got to have it, and kind of settle the offense down, I don't know how you don't put Star Thomas in there and keep him in. Every time he gets the ball, he makes a guy miss, or he's falling forward for a couple extra. And Bishop's good too, but Star's easily our best guy, and I think if he'd had a higher volume at maybe another team, he'd be talked about as one of the best in the country.
I think you're exactly right, and I'm shocked by that. Okay, that's a shocking development. It's a great piece of scouting by them to go and get him. And may I say this? Clemson is in the same league. I was talking with C today. Clemson is in the same league. They know Star Thomas. They have nothing at running back. Why they didn't go get him, thank God they didn't, is beyond me. Because when we added him, Andrew, did you expect this when we added him based on the way people were talking about him? No.
No, to be fair, I thought maybe Lewis would take a bigger step than he has.
Yes.
But yeah, I thought he'd be your third guy and kind of just be there as
throw in.
I figured since he was a senior, he'd kind of being brought in as kind of a pass blocker, maybe give you something different out of the backfield catching the ball. But no, he's to be as shifty as he looks and speed. He's got that burst that. I mean, I don't think our run blocking's been fantastic this year. I think it's been better than last year, but he just makes plays. And seeing Lewis and Bishop drop every pass they're thrown,
oh my gosh,
I can't take that anymore.
Thank you. It's well put. You know what, guys? Hey, Maddie's got a good point. Star Thomas, and I don't know if they could orient things this way, but I don't care who starts games. Star Thomas needs to be finishing games, Matt, when they matter. The games that matter.
Yeah, absolutely. He's by far your best back and easily your most complete back, like our caller said. He's the only one that you can trust catching the ball, which is something he's done throughout his career. I think he had 50 or 60 career catches coming into the season. But no, he's been a huge positive kind of out of nowhere for a guy that was, I'm not going to say throwaway, but a guy that you just didn't hear a lot talked about. He's been by far your best running back. And you want to blow your mind, Tony. I think it was 22 and 23. He was at New Mexico State, so that in that backfield had him at running back with Diego Pavia at quarterback.
Wow, John, that's pretty cool. The transient nature of college football. By the way, Oklahoma and Auburn are in a 10-10, what looks like a classic Southeastern Conference football game.
Back to Star Thomas, he's been 4 different places. He's been to a community college, I think Coffeyville, before New Mexico State. So he's got that same kind of Aguilar experience. He's been around so many places, and he has so many reps. He's played so much football that he definitely gives you some experience factors that maybe Bishop and Lewis don't have yet.
And Northern Illinois is driving with the football. They just got a first down around the 31-yard line, and now another flag comes down. One thing about today, it is Flag Day around college football. A touchdown was just wiped out.
Line judge in our game, that guy couldn't help but throw a flag every play.
I don't understand.
It was the same guy that did it all the time.
Hey, Matt, when I opened the show today, I named those guys the stars of the game. And here's the thing. On a couple plays, they had 3 different flags. What do you have? This is what I have. What do you have? This is what I have. And then the ref gets on the mic, and he's like, well, that was decline. That was decline. And they'll accept this one. Shut the hell up.
3 offensive penalties on one play is really impressive.
Yeah.
Now, Tennessee wound up scoring on that drive, too, which is equally as impressive.
They did it twice. They did it twice today. I mean, what? Nobody comes to see you jokers throw flags.
You can get away with it, and you can hurt yourself and get away with it today, but you can't in future games. And hopefully they get better crews in future games.
I mean, it turns the thing into an awful product. I mean, no offense, but we'll go back to the phones. Walker's Painting, ladies and gentlemen. Look, when it's time for a fresh coat, you run. You don't walk to Walker's Painting. You run to Walker's Painting. A little play on words there. Whether it's interior or exterior, Walker's Painting, making it beautiful in Knoxville since '99, all across the area. New construction repaints, residential, commercial. They got you covered. Free estimates available. And get this, you mentioned you heard about it here on your Basilio show. 10% off your first job. You tell them I sent you here on Garza Law 5th Quarter Fan Reaction and go for it. Let's go. You walk, you don't run to Walker's Painting. Let's go. 865-688-1410, 865-688-1410. Walker's Painting, making it beautiful since 1999. Check out the ad over at tclub.team, where we're back blogging each and every day. As now we've got our eyes on 2 games in the SEC, a night fair that'll be very interesting with Florida fighting for their very existence tonight, maybe for Sunbelt Billy's coaching tenure down there, because they might pull the plug on him pretty quickly. I'm telling you, Clemson has pulled the plug, ladies and germs, as we get ready to go back to our phones 14-10 game as Northern Illinois with the ball just inside Mississippi State territory. 3 minutes and change. And Matt, what is on the field right now? Another what? Oh, they called timeout, but a flag came down.
It's fourth and long. I assume they're going to punt.
Okay, let's go back to our phones.
It's a 14-10 game, so it's really competitive.
Sure.
Northern Illinois obviously trying to shorten the game. Mississippi State's, them and Tennessee are both incredibly fast starting teams this year. No surprise, they kind of run the same stuff.
Yep.
So that'll be kind of fun to see next week. A lot of times when you get these like similar matchups, like you face a team with the same style that you have, the defenses usually have an edge on the offenses. So that'll be something to watch next week.
Hey, Matt,
it's weird how it works that way.
Before we go back to the phones, what did you make of us going back to our old offense away from what we were doing with Georgia?
I just think a lot of that was specifically kind of a Georgia playbook that we had kind of worked on all summer and had some analysts and stuff really work on and focus on that game. But are there, today you could do whatever you wanted to.
Are there other SEC teams, Matt, you do that with?
Oh yeah, I'm sure you can use it. The fact that you were so effective doing it and using the middle of the field, you really have all season. I definitely think you can continue to use it, but there was no point in doing any of that stuff today.
No.
You just run your base offense and get away, get out of there.
And Sean,
then you just use one tight end almost the entire game. There was a couple of short yardages, and then the one series, I think to start the second quarter, you were in two tights a lot, but I don't think Ethan Davis even played today.
Sean and John Adams, both of whom have departed now, were talking about the option today and getting that on film, and the fact that Aguilar looked fairly comfortable doing it, which is not an easy thing to do. This Aguilar guy is hand in glove in this offense, Matt. Hand in glove. It is remarkable. So
I think we ran an option play at the goal line against Syracuse that worked, but it's good to have that in your bag. And just put it on film. And wait, we finally found a defense that the shovel pass worked against. That's how bad UAB was on defense. That shovel pass went for a touchdown.
If I get bored tomorrow afternoon, which I don't think I will, but if I got bored, I would like to go back and count the missed tackles from UAB. Matt, what do you think that number is? How many tackles do you think that team missed today in that stadium?
I'd say 15 to 20.
Easy 20 plus.
Yeah.
Easy 20
it's
plus.
Probably not as many as you think, because there's a lot of times they weren't even in position to make tackles until the ball carrier had an extra 5 or 10 yards.
There is that. I like the pass over there to Peyton Lewis when literally there's nobody in the screen and he drops the ball. Like literally not a defender in the screen. It was wide open.
When we run those plays where we're throwing it to the running back, that's when Star Thomas needs to be on the field.
Back to the phones we go.
Only one that catches those.
Yeah, because that's a wasted down. No offense to those other guys. Hello and welcome in. You're on the air.
Hey, Tony. It's David Ackworth.
It's my man. How you doing, buddy?
Doing good, guys. How y'all doing? Y'all covered so much of the game. It's hard to talk too much about it. I would say, the one thing that surprised me was, it's hard to judge anything from this game. I was a little surprised we didn't run the ball. Like they're the worst run defense in the country, and I don't think it's even close. I was really surprised we didn't really blow them off the ball a little bit more. But I tell you what I noticed is, and I never really thought about it much. We run so much in between the tackles that when we got to the edge, and the option play was a good example of that. But when we don't really run any of our back to the edge, but when you got to the edge in that game, there was nobody there. I mean, there was nobody there for UAB. So I know Heupel's offense is really focused on running between the tackles. It was really nice to see that little option play, because I think they probably realized that, guys, if we can get a running back to the edge of the line of scrimmage, he's gone.
They're walking in. Yep.
Yeah, I've never really noticed that. Never really thought about it that much before. But that we just don't run the ball wide at all in this offense, do we?
Well, Star Thomas was getting outside the tackles against Georgia, which was interesting because, again, you're back to that little shift they had, and that little nuanced pro blend thing that they did last week sort of lent itself to that. But you make a great observation. I mean, it's basically a between the tackles type of scheme because you're counting what you're doing is you're spreading that defense out, and you're going to run the ball right in that box. You do make a great point, though, today. If you really wanted to score like 90 points, you probably could have repeatedly run that option and probably pulled the ball back and thrown it downfield several times as well. You could have played with that team and really played with your food. But I just thought it was curious today that they looked the way they did in the first half offensively, and then the spigot just turned off in the second half. And I mean, it was off.
Our second team. Yeah, our second team offense and defense just seemed to really struggle.
Yes, they did.
And it's pretty obvious that I think by the end of the year, you're going to see Merklinger be the third team down here because I agree. If I understand you don't want McIntyre to take significant snaps this year, but if there's a situation where he has to. You don't have a choice. You're gonna, and which is why I was so surprised. I mean, the flow of the game kind of prevented him from getting into this game. By the time you got the ball back there at the end, the game was over. I thought probably they were trying to get Merklinger three series and then maybe try to play McIntyre a few. But the everything just slowed. I mean, the clock just ground down in the second half. But the other thing about this, tell me, have you ever seen a blatant attempt to injure a player than you did that guy walking over there and basically trying to hurt our place kicker?
No. Do you think the guy had a bet on the money line last week?
And the thing about it is the officials saw it, threw a flag, but didn't kick him out of the game. How do you not kick that guy out of the game for physically going over and trying to injure a player? I didn't understand that.
Hey, Matt,
I didn't understand that. And
do you think the guy had? I'm not kidding now. Do you think the guy knew somebody that had action on the game? Because he went over and stepped on our kicker's foot, Matt, on purpose. I mean, it's bizarre.
Yeah. It's a very odd thing for a guy to do.
I'm asking a question. I'm being serious here, Dave.
I mean, it's a really good line, but it is a legitimate question to ask.
And when's the last time you guys have seen that in a football game? Anybody? Hello, anybody? I've never seen that. I've never seen that. I'm just going to walk over and tramp on your foot.
Had a lay down kicker after that extra point.
I'm going to tramp on your foot now.
Hey, Tony, he'd have to step on an entire first-team offensive line's feet to affect the outcome of that game. I don't think the kicker was going to work.
I don't think stepping on feet. How many feet would they have had to step on the Blazers to be in that game? Probably looking at that thing about 50, Dave.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, and I'm curious to see. I was really paying attention to the handshake post game.
Yeah.
This is how much you guys have covered. I'm talking about the post game handshake. I'm wondering if Dilfer apologized to Heupel for that play because he said something. And it looked like to me he was saying something like an apology, and I'd be really curious to see if that's what he said. Because at first I was like, okay, is Dilfer going to be upset that they tried to score there towards the end? But the way they were talking and Heupel was kind of shaking his head like, yeah, that's okay. I'm wondering if he apologized because I've never seen that before. And by the way, speaking of never seeing that before, you mentioned it. I've never seen 3 penalties called on a single play against one side on one team. I've watched football all my life, and I don't recall ever seeing 3 flags thrown.
These guys,
3 separate flags,
were atrocious.
And
I mean, they're your biblical referees. Mike Keith today said this crew loves throwing the flag. Like in the middle of the first half, he goes, these guys were out of their minds last week against Vanderbilt. He said on the air today, which I'm like, great. Editorialize. I mean, let's call this what it is. What are you doing? 3 flags on one play? We get it. We get it, man.
And they said there were 18 penalties called. That was 18 penalties accepted. I wonder how many penalties they actually threw.
Oh, my gosh, man. What a
25? 26? I mean, there had to – because I know there were a bunch of declined penalties in that game.
What a great
they probably
line.
threw the flag at least 26 27 times, something like that. Just crazy. I appreciate you guys. Talk to you soon.
Love. Thank you. Incredible. 865-200-5402. My friends at VIP Play, we go back to our phones. Man, I am coming really close to having a really good college football season. Brian is really hot right now picking games. I'm having a close time picking them. I'm Northern Illinois down 14-10 is where I'm at. I'm like in the area code enough to keep myself interested, so to speak. But my friends at VIP Play with the night card, they've got some great stuff going on over there. You heard one of our callers earlier reference how he's taking money from. Hey, man, you go, baby, go. Go claim your VIP Play welcome bonus. You make your first bet of $20 or more, get $100 in bonus bets instantly. The promo code and the phrase that pays is TN Tony. Again, TN Tony. And what you'll find at VIP Play is they're live always, 200-plus leagues, tons of stuff to get action on, numerous bet types, props, options. And who knows, maybe the kid from UAB knows somebody that's, had some action last week and had the Vols on the money line. The thing about VIP is everybody gets treated like a VIP play, or VIP with VIP Play. Easy for me to say. And if you have a gambling problem, 800-889-9789, 21 and over, located in the state of Tennessee to place a bet. We get ready to go back to our phones. 865-200-5402, the numero uno, numero dos. As it's Garza Law, fifth quarter fan reaction presented by Marcos Garza, the Garza Law Firm. Back to our TLD Logistics phone lines we go. Hello and welcome in. Two games we're watching right now at the half. Mississippi State leads 14-10. They might be 4-0 if they can get through this thing. They might be 4-0, and that will be a very difficult environment for the Tennessee Vols next week. And then a future opponent. Oklahoma is deadlocked with Auburn, 10-10 in a game that has been a real old-school SEC football game. Low scoring, and these teams are hitting each other. Hello and welcome in. You're on the air.
Hey, what's up, TB, Josh?
Hey, Josh. Welcome in, brother.
Tony, I got to tell you guys one thing, and everybody knows it was really, really hot at the game today.
Really hot.
Yeah.
Yes.
We were out at halftime, which the game was way out of reach by then.
Yep.
So the few plays before Peyton Lewis scored on the last touchdown before halftime, Tony, I don't know if you saw, me and Artie saw him go to the sideline and slammed his helmet down. Why did he do that? Did you guys see anything on the 2 plays before the tutty?
Peyton Lewis went to the sideline and slammed his helmet down?
Slammed his helmet down, yeah.
Huh. Matt, any idea what he could have been upset about?
No, I didn't see that. I'll make a note of it and try to find something when I watch the replay of it tomorrow.
His pass catching, maybe.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that could be it.
Helmet didn't bounce up because he wouldn't have caught it.
Yeah.
Oh, Matt, stop. Do you hear what he said?
You're funny, Matt. So, what do you guys make of Aguilar through the first 4 games of the season? I feel like we won that trade with UCLA, and Joey definitely can read a defense and like the pajama boy.
Well, Ali G, as I'm calling. Listen, the thing about a quarterback is the most important thing, and they were talking about this during the telecast today, which is a really good point. Quarterback play is so much more than playing quarterback. In fact, you got to have the intangibles. You've got to have your teammates with you. I believe in that so much. Look, a quarterback, and I'm not saying last year's guy did, but a quarterback cannot behave like a wide receiver. Quarterback cannot behave like a running back.
Right.
Quarterback is a unique position in sports. And this guy right here behaves like a quarterback.
Yes.
And when he walks out there, Josh, there's a certain level of confidence I have in him. I am forgetting that he's been here for 4 games now. He feels like, Matt, how does this Aguilar guy, Matt, feel like he's been here for 2 years? How is that possible? Please explain that to me, because that's what it feels like. He does not feel like he's been in the system that he got here in May. It doesn't seem possible. And look, like Matt said, the ball handling stuff, okay, every once in a while you go make mistakes. How is that possible, Matt? And does it feel that way to you when you're watching him as well, Matt?
He doesn't put his head down whenever he makes a turnover. He moves on to the next play. He doesn't have bad body language.
No, and he's not perfect. And he's going to make mistakes, and he's going to miss on throws, and balls are going to sail.
Nobody's perfect.
That's exactly right. Matt, do you get that sense from him that he's been here like 2 years? It's really odd.
Yeah, he doesn't look like a first-year starter in a new system, especially after not being in the spring. I think it's a testament to the work that he obviously put in the offseason once he transferred, and on the coaches for getting him ready and making sure and doing things that he's comfortable with, and kind of just integrating him into their system. It's just all around it. They did an incredible job, and we saw it from the first game on. I mean, it would be one thing if he kind of was improving and got to this point, but he's been this way since game one in Atlanta. Really, really impressive.
Really impressive.
Guys, out the door, a few points I wanted to make. This unit so far on the offensive line has been really, really good. I want to give props to the O-line so far. And do you think in practice any this week, any of the managers or coaches will be having a cowbell, making a lot of noise to prepare for Saturday?
Great
night. Go Big Orange.
They do all kinds of stuff. Those kids will be so sick of that noise. They'll simulate that noise, pump that noise in. That's a horrendous sound, man. That is a horrendous sound. Didn't the league talk about outlawing that at one time, the cowbells, guys, or am I imagining that? And why do they let that go on? I don't understand it.
I think they're kind of grandfathered in. There's that artificial noise thing you're not allowed to have.
Right.
But for whatever reason, they kind of are allowed to do it. I guess it's just hard to police. Like, what are you going to do? Tell a crowd not to do it? I mean, that's just going to make them do it louder. So as long as they let them in the stadium, there's nothing that you can really do about it.
I think the Georgia Dome years ago, they told them they couldn't bring their cowbells in because of the inside.
I think you're right, Brian.
There may be venues where they cannot do that. And outside at home, maybe they're allowed to.
I remember a conversation though at one point about just ending it all, because the truth is it's a television product. People don't want to hear this. I don't want to listen to that on television. I mean, it's horrendous. It's awful. We'll go back to the phones. Before we do, though, I want to remind you, my friends at Calhoun's are the Taste of Tennessee. Now, look, those Friday shows that we have out there, I mean, touch my heart. I met so many great people yesterday and this week, or this year rather, and like a couple weeks ago, I couldn't even drive myself down there. I was so down with my back. I'm feeling better now, praise God. But just seeing so many different people and meeting so many different folks and these families that come up for these games, and it just waters our soul. And the environment there is just so great. And the people at Calhoun's are just so wonderful. And the food is so good. And I just say to myself, I mean, I just feel like the most blessed person in the world. And yesterday, Russell Smith was out there in the afternoon, and we were talking today, and it's like you just have no idea what it means to be affiliated, for us to be affiliated with the Taste of Tennessee, Calhoun's. I mean, it's an incredible place. It is an incredible place. And any of the Calhoun's area of restaurants, they've got you covered. And the food is fresh. And it's always going to come through because they've got their own butchers at the commissary. They got fishermen fishing off each coast. I've seen it at their commissary, telling them what the catches are that day and what's coming in. And you will taste the difference, because that is the Taste of Tennessee at Calhoun's. As we go back to our phones. Auburn and Oklahoma getting ready to get back underway. And I want to remind you, Tuesday night, Matt will be in here, Brian will be in here, C will be in here. We're going to be breaking down the schedules as they drop. I believe the Tennessee's 3 permanent opponents, we said it on the air this week, I believe the 3 permanents are going to be Alabama, Vanderbilt, and I believe Kentucky. I believe that. We'll see if it happens. I'm not saying that's what's going to happen, but I'm going to make an educated guess here, and I also believe that this schedule that you're about to see Tennessee play next year is going to be pretty nasty. But you know what, Matt? And we've got a lot of time to talk about this because Tuesday we'll talk it out. I don't know if there's a place to run and hide now in the league schedule-wise when you look at the combination of teams.
Oh, there's not. When, you have 6 to 8 potential playoff teams every year in the league. You're going to play, at least half of those. Every team is. So one way to make it a little bit easier is to be one of those elite teams where you don't have to, you can't play yourself. So
there you go.
Can, be one of the teams that other teams don't want to play. That's a way to make your schedule easier.
And a future opponent for the Vols today, Arkansas, let one get away at Memphis. And Memphis has to feel very good about themselves for getting a win over a Southeastern Conference team today in their building. They've tried like hell to get into a major conference. But who knows? Maybe sitting in that league and investing, and maybe they can be the it team this year out of that league.
The days of Charlie West crying about commitment to the program.
Yeah.
And what was the coach's name, West, that was there for years?
Tommy West, former Vol.
Tommy West. Yeah, the days of him crying, getting on there and saying, "Hey, you got to put some money into this thing." Those days are long gone. Memphis has been.
Yeah. You're right, Brian.
They've been totally opposite since that.
And they were credible today. Like if you watched it, they had SEC speed on offense. Now their defense isn't much. Neither team's defense is much. And if we don't get some people back and keep them back, that Arkansas-Tennessee game in this building is going to be really high scoring.
Bet the over.
And if Tennessee can put 40 on the board, they will put 40 on the board 6 times I'm talking about next week. They will put 40 on the board their first 6 games of a regular season for the first time in history. Because they will do that against that Arkansas bunch. I can promise you that. Because they are dreadful on defense. Back to the phones we go. And that Taylor Green today took some real shots and kept getting up. He's a tough guy. I respect him. He is emblematic of what's going on at the quarterback position in this league. Obviously, they're paying for it around the league, but man, he's emblematic of it. As we go back to the phones and get our next call in, hello and welcome. You are on our Garza Law 5th Quarter Fan Reaction. Hi.
Hey, gentlemen. Couple things. I really believe that if Tennessee ends up having to play a different quarterback, like not just in a mop-up duty type thing, George will be the guy when if that time ever came this year. I feel like Merklinger's the guy that's going to play mop-up duty or come in for a play, and I'm assuming they're trying to keep George from playing any more than 4 games this year, and didn't feel like today was one of those times to waste it. But I can't imagine they're going to trot 12 out there if they have to play a different quarterback in the game.
What's crazy, Rusty, is back in the summer, we kept hearing how bad Merklinger was, and I was like, well, okay. I mean, I was saying it because I was hearing it, but Rusty, he must have been dreadful because I can't imagine funnier? What he looks. I mean, how bad did he look today?
It's
unbelievable.
There's zero processing going on. Zero. It's if somebody he sees in his same jersey open, just accidentally he'll throw it to him, but there's no processing anything. There's no going through a progression. The funniest part though is we heard the summer it was so bad, but we heard in the spring he was out playing Nico.
Yeah.
That's the better thing.
I know, but were they pushing Nico? Was that a narrative because they were?
It probably was.
Who knows?
It probably
right?
was
Who knows?
Trying to. Yeah. Anyway, the officiating crew, my God, horrendous. The interception that Joey threw, Brazil's being tackled as the ball gets tipped. No PI on that one, but we're calling a bunch of other stuff. We're calling a hold and a block in the back on the same guy. That's impossible to do. If you're holding the guy and then he turns around and you push him in the back, that's not a block in the back. That's beyond me. And the receiver caught the ball behind the line of scrimmage, so it can't be an illegal man downfield. I'm fine with the block or the hold, one of those two being called, but you can't call both of them. Those guys, that hunchback head referee,
awful.
Him and his crew are the worst in the league, and Rusty, I think that's documented.
His cadence, the way he talks, I mean, he's a perfect referee for the Pharisee referee crew. I mean, they call everything. They are there with their little books calling, and UAB. I mean, UAB can't play. Of course, they're committing penalties. They cannot play. Quit calling them. Let's get the damn thing over with. Goodness gracious.
Sorry to get you riled up, but it was brutal.
It's true.
I know. It's so bad. So I went and looked at the Oklahoma touchdown play that we're all talking about.
Yeah.
The kid never left the field. He put his toes against the white line, but did not leave the field and stood over there facing the sideline until they snapped it, basically.
So perfect design. Perfect design.
So it was, they ran the play before knowing they were doing it. It was all set up in a two-play sequence. And, I mean, hey, if that's what you got to do to win, Nebraska did the fumble-rooski against Bernie Kosar and the Hurricanes back in '83, I think it was. So sometimes you got to pull stuff out because you're not good enough to win other ways. So if that's what it took, good for Mateer and Skeletor out there coaching them.
Are you saying Oklahoma had 10 guys on the field the previous play, and then they ran a guy on, and it looked like they were running him off?
No, they had 11 on the field. Nobody left for Oklahoma. He was out like blocking on an inside running play. And then, like, he kind of just, like, when they snapped it, he just kind of, like, backed up and didn't block anybody as a receiver close to the sideline. And then when the play ended, he started jogging towards the sideline like he was running off and somebody else was running on, but nobody came on.
Nobody else ran on?
Yeah, nobody runs on. He just stands with his toes on the white, like right against the white, but not out of bounds. And then when they come to the line of scrimmage, he takes off running.
It's pretty cool, man. Pretty cool.
Hey, yeah. Yeah, I there's been a few of those over the years where teams pull plays like that, and it's clever when you do. You can do it once probably and get away with it. What else? So sad about seeing the Angeli kid, man.
Oh man, that's terrible.
That kid's playing his rear end off up there at Syracuse.
That's terrible, man.
His coach, his offensive coordinator can coach offense. His head coach is a heck of a coach. Those two guys are going to either light it up at Syracuse or they're going to be somewhere else soon because those guys can coach. My goodness.
I mean,
they have no business being in that ball game, no matter how much Clemson quits with all the turnover they had.
I cannot comprehend how dead to the world Clemson was today. But watching that, seeing, and when you see these teams unplug, they unplug. And Dabo was weird to him last week, was talking about they want to fire me, and I'll be at my next stop. I mean, your kids, you're daring your kids to quit on you when you're doing that stuff as a head coach. You're daring them.
Yep. But it wasn't, I mean, Syracuse was just shredding them. Syracuse was getting guys open.
They ripped them apart.
Offensively, I mean, how bad Clemson was on offense is the real thing to me. They can't run the football and they can't protect the quarterback. But defensively, they got studs everywhere, and there's just guys running up. Syracuse is scheming them up like they're playing a middle school until Angeli went down.
That's a sad thing.
And even the backup came in and threw a beautiful back shoulder fade for a touchdown. Great day of football.
Love it.
I think there was one more thing I had about something that happened today, but I can't remember what it was.
Rusty,
but anyway,
you're the man, brother. Enjoy this Oklahoma game.
No injuries today. That's the best thing.
Thank you, man. Yeah, that's exactly right. Like you said, Matt, earlier, this UAB game, it's great. A lot of kids got to go to their first game. Like Sean was talking about a youngster that was there with his grandfather. I met some people yesterday taking their kids, and we had a call from a guy coming over from Charlotte. Shout out to you. Man, I love hearing that. I met a kid yesterday that said to me, "Hey, I've been listening to you since I was a little kid," and I said to him, "I am so sorry. I hope you still did okay in school despite that." He said, "I basically been listening to you since I was a baby." He was like in his 20s. And I said, man, I really hope that it didn't, what we do here didn't rub off.
He's warped beyond repair already. From a sports perspective.
Matt, isn't it weird how Oklahoma's been in the league 2 years and that feels like an SEC game they're playing? Like a season and a half. That feels just like an SEC game that you're watching. Low scoring.
Yeah, Venables has built them. I mean, obviously kind of a defensive first team.
Yeah.
They finally have a quarterback that they can do something with. But no, it's been a real physical kind of just slugfest game with a lot of brutal mistakes on both sides.
And if from our perspective, and you can say, well, you're going to cheer for here, you need Oklahoma to win this game and keep winning. You want that game to be a signature opportunity in Neyland Stadium. In fact, in a perfect world, Oklahoma comes in with one loss or no losses, maybe one loss. So you can take a little air out of them and have a win over them. If you're thinking playoff, if that's how you're thinking, you want Oklahoma to win this game today, and you want them to keep winning. I don't know that they will. I don't know that they'll win today, and I don't know that they'll keep winning, but that is what you want. From a Mississippi State perspective, it would be nice if Northern Illinois could knock these guys off. And Matt reminds us that that Northern Illinois squad last year somehow beat that Notre Dame team that got to a national semifinal last season, which is one of the weirder results in recent college football memory. Speaking of results, my friends at Connexial get results. Brian, what is our Connexial drive of the game? If you have a choice, you think about that, Bri, as we get ready to go back to our phones today on Garza Law 5th Quarter Fan Reaction. But before we do that, Bri, our Connexial drive of the game is what you got?
I like the drive that ended with a option touchdown to Peyton Lewis. Can I use that one again?
Sure. Do whatever you want
to
do,
I like that play so much. I want to use that as the Connexial drive of the game to make it 35-7.
Tennessee went 14 plays, 82 yards, and consumed 6:48 on the clock. And very good, Bri. And the Vols, right after a touchdown from UAB, come back and score. Very, very interesting run here for the Vols. I'm sorry. The play for the Vols there, what am I doing here? Tennessee went 5 plays, 54 yards, consuming 203. I thought it was interesting, guys, before we talk about Connexial, the way Tennessee kind of varied their pace today. They slowed down, they sped up, they slowed down, they sped up. They basically used today's game to work on some things. As Oklahoma settles for a field goal, it's 13-10. That's a classic low-scoring football game. And the folks in Starkville are clanging after a long play down to the 2-yard line. They're clanging the cowbells. Was it caught? Yeah, it was caught. 2 feet inbounds. My friends at Connexial, Knoxville's transportation logistics tech company, right out of beautiful downtown Knoxville, doing their thing each and every day in the trucking space. And listen, if you've got a fleet on the road, it doesn't have to be a fleet of 18-wheelers, any kind of fleet. And I know several folks have it, but you want to see where your folks are. You want to keep tabs on them. You want to keep them safe. You want to keep your eyes on the prize, Butch Jones. You will do it with Connexial. I don't mean, hey, listen, Wichita, Ken, I don't mean to bring up Butch Jones's name in your spot there, but you get I just always, the eyes on the thighs and the prize and all that, I don't know. I feel like I'm in a goofy mood right now. Maybe I am. Connexial, though, the goal is to help your fleet be more efficient, make the drivers on a road safer. We all want safer roads. Control your fleet, improve your safety scores, maximize your profitability. Everybody wins. Win big here in 2025 with Connexial. KONEXIAL.com. KONEXIAL.com. Back to our phones on Garza Law 5th Quarter Fan Reaction. Our TLD Logistics phone lines. They're online at tldlogistics.com. Hello and welcome in. You're on the air.
Hey, this is Mike in San Antonio. Appreciate you guys taking my call.
Hey, Mike. Great to hear your voice, my man. Long time.
Oh, yeah, man. I sitting there watching this Oklahoma game. I know you said we should be, actually pulling for Oklahoma right now. Is that correct?
Absolutely. We want Oklahoma strong, especially in light of what's going on with Florida right now. You want your schedule to be as formidable as possible. And so Oklahoma getting a signature win in this game would help the Vols, or a semi-signature win with Auburn.
Yeah, and it's a defensive battle, but we also have to look at, who's playing quarterback for Auburn. Same guy that we played last year. The guy just has, that poor Jackson Arnold kid, he just has no clock inside his head. I don't think he has the awareness. He's been sacked 8 times already, and there's no telling how many times the poor kid's been clobbered out there. Granted, Oklahoma has a tremendous, defense, a Southeastern Conference defense, but good grief, Tony.
I agree. Did you see the sack? Matt, what did you think of the sack on him when the guy looked like Jefferson from Fast Times at Ridgemont High to start the third quarter, Matt? The guy from Oklahoma.
Yeah, he got flying around. Both defenses are just really, really fast, it looks like, which not surprising for Oklahoma, but I've been impressed with Auburn's defense.
I agree with that.
One.
I agree with that.
Oh, did you guys see one of the last sacks where he got blindsided?
Yeah.
The guy came through there like leaping Lanny Poffo.
Yes,
when
he
came
did.
through
Yes,
the air,
he
brother.
did. Yeah, he was way up in the air. Like, I'm talking like, I guarantee you, if you're...
He leaped, man.
Wait till you see this tomorrow, those of you that are driving. This guy looks like Superman flying over
Red
like
Eagle,
Midtown
man.
Manhattan. Yeah, he is fully extended. And, I mean, he jumps on him with the weight of 1,000 armies. It was beautiful, man.
Yeah, it was amazing. He got flattened, bro. But what I was wanting to call, what prompted me to call is you were talking about, our quarterback earlier, Joey, and just how he just seems like he's already been there for a couple of years. It's like he's been there, like he got recruited to the school, right? I mean, part of it is, I think, just not how he's, absorbed the playbook and how he just looks so natural in that type of offense. But look at the kid at the Vol Walk. Look how engaging he is.
Yes.
He looks like he's out there hugging kids, with his jerseys. We never saw that from our other quarterback. The other kid was shrouded. He didn't have the what do you call it? The savvy, the media savvy. It's like he was programmed almost.
Yes.
Poor kid. I kind of feel bad for him because I think we all know now it's all stemmed from his damn childhood, Tony.
Well, and it also stems from this. In this era we live in, these 5-star quarterbacks, they're raised. They are taken from the bunch when they're like 12 or 13 years old, and for 5 years they don't live in your world, man. They are exalted already. And their asses are kissed 24/7. And this kid here started at the very, very, very bottom. I mean, it would be harder to get lower than this kid got.
And if you look at Nico's class, we were just talking about Jackson Arnold.
Oh yeah.
We have Nico. You have Arch Manning, who takes up most of a Texas Longhorns football game with his damn sunglasses commercials.
I feel so sorry for him. I feel so sorry for him, man.
So, you were talking about these kids having to go through this when they're 12 or 13 years old, and when they're 18 years old, not only they're not learning how to play quarterback, they're having to build a brand. I think I told you that last season, when I called in.
Yeah, it's sad.
So it's the mindset of these young, especially these quarterback, the high-profile kids, their heads have to be a freaking mess.
Nico is marketing a digital delay for musicians.
Yeah.
That's what his new NIL is going to be, because he's
Yeah,
on
like
delay.
you know-
Nico's on delay.
Yeah. And like you were mentioning about Aguilar, the guy came from the bottom, worked his way up. He's had his share of, disappointments. He's had his share of losses. He's had a share of lessons he's learned. And he brought that into that locker room. And I think these kids immediately saw that, that he has experiences that he could share with everyone. He was relatable. And you got to look at Joey. He's coming and said, my God, look at this campus. My God, look at these facilities. He's embraced it. And he he's not taking it for granted. You know, it's simple as that. He's embracing it full force, and he's giving it all he's got to the fans, to his teammates, and everybody. And you got to love it, man. It's almost, you know, it's magical to watch, really.
Chris Doering today, again, they were thrown to the Tennessee game on the SEC Network. He said, look, I didn't play at Tennessee. I'm cheering for that kid. He said everybody in the league is cheering for that kid. And the other thing is, and look, they're going to close this this loophole, this spring loophole, so the quarterbacks aren't going to be able to jump out. I'm sure somebody's going to challenge it, though, in a court of law, and they don't. It's gonna who knows what a court's going to say. But to your point, Mike, the very thing that the establishment of college football, every coach in America wanted to see happen has happened here. Nico and his family are a punchline. They are damn fools. That's the dumbest. Listen, if Big Nick gets any worse with his moves, he's going to be in the Cleveland Browns front office up there for Jimmy Haslam.
Yeah. And you're right. All these coaches were waiting for it to happen. You know, it set a precedent, and it's set a cautionary tale for a lot of these kids going forward. You know, so.
And Matt,
man, we appreciate you guys. Y'all have a good one.
Matt, do you really buy what Deshaun Foster was leaking to the media now about Joey Aguilar not connecting with his teammates, which is why they went in that direction?
Of course not. We didn't believe it when it happened, when we saw the article.
Think about this. His wide receivers were hurt in fall camp for at least half of it.
That's exactly right, Bri. They had
think about this for a second.
They had 2 summer practices, Bri, I think, where they were all on the field together. That is exactly right. At Tennessee,
would never tell.
At Tennessee, you're exactly right. You're exactly right.
Another thing is this is something that actually Tennessee benefits from before it goes away, instead of something that gets added the year after it screws Tennessee for a change.
Hey, Matt, am I seeing things in this Northern Illinois game, or are our wide receivers going to have a lot of open space next week if we block them?
Our wide receivers are, after last week, I'll be shocked if they're not open all the time going forward.
Yeah, they're getting ready to have a day next week, this thing looks like to me. Now, Mississippi State could be having a bad day, or this could be a bad scheme matchup, or whatever this is. But they're going to have a day as we get ready to go back to the phones. Northern Illinois is down 10, but they're in this game. They are very much in this football game. As we go back to our phones, we're down 21-10 is the score. 13-10 the score in the other game. Both games midway through the third. And there was a wide open receiver that was just missed out of the back of the end zone in the Northern Illinois game. And the quarterback looks like he wants that play back, because I'm telling you, we're going to have some opportunities next week for some big plays against these guys. Hello and welcome in. You're on the air.
Tony, this is James from North Carolina.
Hey, James. Good to talk to you.
Good to talk to you. Hey, wanted to make a point about the Mississippi State game next week.
Yep.
I've been to a game there, and the Cowboys, the Cowbells, I would agree with you, are obnoxious. But it's one of the things that makes college football great. In a time when we're losing some of the nostalgia with robberies, with beer barrels, getting rid of those, it takes away something from the game that makes Mississippi State unique. It's the only place in the country that has it. And so I think we, instead of getting rid of these things from an opposing fan base standpoint, let's be thankful for the uniqueness, because college football is different than the NFL. It's got a uniqueness to it that we need to hold on to, and the Cowbells, having experienced it, is one of those things about Mississippi State. I would also agree.
You know what? If I
with
could
some
say,
of the other,
you know what?
go ahead.
If I could say, you're right on that, man. In fact, your name is James. Yeah. I'm gonna give you some love on the blog this week, because you're right, man. You know that is a really good way of putting that. That we need to quit trying to be NFL light and embrace the traditions we have in college sports. I wish they didn't sound like that, James. I can't imagine what it's like to be in the stands when they're really clanging them. For some reason, it's a sound that goes right through me. But I guess we're all different. But I do understand what you're saying. I really do. And I appreciate that.
Yes, that's the point I would make about that. The other thing I would say about Joey, I would agree with all the callers that he seems like he's been on in the system for a couple of years now. He has picked up this offense very quickly, and it almost makes you wonder if our approach going forward with quarterback play is to get somebody that is proven, maybe not as proven, but has got some age to him and experience in the game. Hendon Hooker's another example of that. He wasn't necessarily wanted at Virginia Tech, and we turned him into a Heisman candidate. And that may be an approach that Heupel needs to consider, and I'm sure he is. Right? He's the one making $10 million a year. But that's just a thought I had about quarterback play, and as we consider, do you go after 5-star guys or not, or do you get some serviceable guys on the bench and go after and get a guy that's proven?
The weirdest thing is, and we were talking about this on our daily show, and Matt said this week, who's going to find him for Tennessee? Because the guys they've ended up with are not guys they've identified. That's the strangest thing about Heupel. He's won 40 games very quickly here. He's a very high floor coach, as we see. Who knows what the ceiling is? The ceiling, who knows? But for whatever reason, they've had trouble identifying guys at that position that fit here and can play in their system. Now, this Brandon guy is supposed to be all that in a bag of chips, but so was Nico. So I'm inclined to agree with you. I think if you, in a perfect world, if you could identify somebody that's more of a veteran player, you'd get more of a known. You probably wouldn't have to spend as much money on that player, which would free up more money for you to invest in your offensive line, a wide receiver, a key defensive piece, etc. You're right. And plus, the other thing you wouldn't have to deal with a 5-star quarterback is that pampered presence. And again, these are kids that are pretty pampered from a young age. I'm not saying all of them. And certainly Nico's a bad example because he was a flatliner last year. We said that on the air here. It's one thing we do in this space is we kind of deal with things and just sort of call them like we see them. And this is not for everybody. I realize that. But we called Nico a flatliner last year on the air while the year was going on because he was just a flatline player. So he was. This guy here, this Joey Aguilar guy, around the complex, they were telling me in the summer, this dude's confident now. Maybe overconfident, but this dude's confident, and these kids believe in him. It's a fun thing to see.
Absolutely. Well, he underthrows some balls, as we well know, but that's going to be what it'll be. Every game on our schedule is gettable from here on out. If we can get our defense healthy, there's no reason why this team can't go 10-2 and make a playoff berth, and from there see what happens.
Thank you, my friend. Tony. Great talking to you. Yeah, I think this team's got a variance here of a couple games. Anything's possible in this league this year. Boy, Auburn just popped a huge run. What a great call, Matt. Great blocking at the point of attack.
Wait till you see this next play.
Okay, well, back to our phones we go.
I had it set up. Dixie sees in the future.
That's all right. No, I love Dixie seeing into the future.
Dixie has a crystal ball.
They throw it wide open into the end zone, and he overthrows him. Jeez Louise. That was a 2-play sequence, too, Matt. That's pretty offense right there.
Yeah, that great double move.
Oh, my gosh. I'm going to tell you what. Auburn has some damn offensive talent, okay? I'm going to stand with Matt. Auburn's got a nice football team here. That's what we're seeing. It's a 13-10 game. If he places the ball just takes a little bit off of it, Auburn's got a lead here late in the third quarter. This is a really good game at Oklahoma. As we go back to the phones on your Garza Law fifth quarter fan reaction presented by the great Marcos Garza and the Garza Law Firm. They're online at garzalaw.com. and they're going to take incredibly great care of you. Mississippi State just missed a deep throw down to their own 7-yard line. They're up 21-10, but they're playing long ball as well. So a lot of very good quarterback play in this league, and both quarterbacks in this Oklahoma game and the Auburn-Oklahoma game have made plays. And Mississippi State's quarterback looks okay. We had him this week in our blog over at tclub.team as we ranked the quarterbacks through 3 weeks. Had that kid at 11, which is not bad. He's a more than competent Southeastern Conference quarterback, more than capable quarterback. Tennessee's going to have their hands full next week. There is very little doubt watching this game. There are going to be plays to be made from Tennessee's offense, but they will defensively have their hands full with this Mississippi State team.
Anyone got an advanced line?
Hello and welcome into our next call. You're on the air.
What's going on, Tone?
Hey, welcome in.
The Steak Dave Nathan.
Hey, FDN, welcome in, brother.
What's going on, brother? It's been a long time no talk, but been listening religiously.
Good to talk to you.
You guys are the best. You guys are the best in the business.
Good to talk to you, man. Thank you, brother.
You too. So just a couple of points or a couple of things that I noticed today. I was at the game today, and how about the one play? I don't know if anybody's talked about it. I've listened to most of the show, but the play where UAB had Aguilar sacked about the 50-yard line, and he spins out of the sack and kind of stiff arms the guy and keeps his eyes downfield, rolls to the left and hits Matthews for like a 15 or 20-yard gain. This is one of the more heads-up, strongest QB plays that I've seen at that stadium since probably Hooker was there, and I don't even know if Hooker would make that play. I know he scrambled out of a bunch of sacks, but that was just a heady play. I think the I think the man that we've got over there, he's a stud, Tony. I think I've been very, very impressed with him, the way he carries himself, how just humble he is about the opportunity that he's got to play at the University of Tennessee. I think that means something. I think that means something to some of these guys like Hooker and him. And I think they appreciate the opportunity instead of expect you to lay something out on like a silver platter for them. And basically they're giving you the opportunity to get a chance to play with them.
You know, Sean,
it seems like a different mentality.
It's such a great point by you, Sean Sinclair. And by the way, Auburn misses a 50-yard field goal, is way off the mark. But Sean Sinclair said something about Aguilar today that I think is really interesting, that bears repeating in light of what you're saying. You know, a lot of guys when they go into games like this are trying to stuff their stat sheet. And he came out and ran their offense. He wasn't checking out of things, throwing silly things downfield. And he could have done that. I mean, he's a veteran player. There's nobody behind him that's going to take his spot, so to speak. And the play you're talking about, I don't know that Hooker kept his eyes downfield the way this kid does. I don't know. Hey, Matt, that's another thing about him is the resilience to bounce off a would-be tackler and to roll out and just to keep looking. And Matthews, Matt, what I like about that play is Matthews stayed in the moment and created a lane for him, as if these guys know, hey, this kid's going to get me the ball here. It's pretty interesting to watch this.
Yeah, it is. And I don't know if you're going to Matt or me, Tone.
Well, I don't know. Yeah. I don't either.
One more thing I had to say was that Brazzle, as good as he's played this year, I know he was hurt last year. I know he was nicked up, and he missed. I don't know how many games he missed, but how important is it to have a quarterback that can get you the ball that makes you look better? I think Brazzle looks all world this year, and I remember you talking before the season that this guy might be a bust in the transfer portal.
Well, he's not a hard worker. He's just not. I mean, I'm not going to pretend that he is. He's not. But he's been very productive.
You got enough God-given.
That's exactly
talent.
Right.
You slack off a little bit.
Well, no. You got enough God-given talent that if you get a guy that can throw a ball near you, and you can go up and make catches, you can make money. You know, but he's not a guy that's like wowing people with his work ethic. He's not. I mean, I hate to be the one to say that. And that was part of the problem last year with him. And the other thing with him is he'll come and go in games. We saw him flash last year as well. So, but yeah, he's off to a really nice start. No question about it.
Yeah, I agree. I think the whole receiving core has really proved a lot, like just what it means to have somebody that can just get you the ball. Matthews probably didn't have as many opportunities last year as maybe I think that he should have. But this year, he's made the most of all his opportunities. And I just love the way they spread the ball around.
I love it.
One other point that I got is, does it not seem to you that when Kitzelman catches the ball over the middle, like he seems to always haul him in, but he always bobbles them. And it's just a little concerning to me because you get somebody that lays a hit on you when you're bobbling the ball like that. You might turn the ball over or get a pick. And that's not even a knock. Like I just have happened to notice that the last few games.
Your observations are interesting on today's game because that's probably an accurate description of things. And when you get up in level, and some of these linebackers are going to hit you, they're going to get on you very quickly. I mean, it's just the difference of playing in this league, and we'll see it as we go along this year.
We will, and I'm super pumped. I think this is the most. I love one of your questions that you had on Friday was. Yeah. Do I think this team's more fun than last year's team? Absolutely. I think this team's got an opportunity to go farther if they can just get the breaks. I mean, that's just all it's going to take. You got to get the breaks.
Yep.
And if you can do that, if you can get the breaks, you got to have the ball bounce your way a couple times. If you can get the breaks, we can be there in December and have an opportunity to make something really special happen. And I can't wait to ride it with you guys. I just love it. And go Vols.
Thank you, my brother. Go Vols. Back to you. And it's great hearing from you. And if you want to jump in, an opportunity for you to do so. Matt, what about that play where Joey drops off and then finds the receiver downfield who presents himself?
Yeah, we've seen him do that a number of times this year when he's kind of been flushed from the pocket. It's a nice thing to have in this offense that we haven't had before because, you mentioned Hendon Hooker. He always tucked it and ran when he kind of got flushed or had to take his eyes off downfield. He always just immediately took off and ran. And then, Milton and Nico, neither one, had the football intelligence to create some of that stuff on broken plays. So it's a nice wrinkle to have. And it's a way to have a more effective offense when you can steal a first down or two a game doing that.
Oklahoma with a 4th and short coming to the end of the fourth quarter. With a 13-10 lead. This is a classic Southeastern Conference football game that we're watching along with here on Garza Law Fifth Quarter Fan Reaction. That's it. We're at the end of the third, and it's 13-10. They're facing a 4th and 2, and the reason they're facing a 4th and 2 is they made a big play down to deep in the Auburn territory, and Auburn comes right back and with a tackle for loss. The defenses in this league and the ability to do that and disrupt and to make you lose 7 or 8 yards on a play. And those are the things that are hidden inside these games when you stay in these games. That right there feels like Oklahoma's been in this league for 25 years, the way they're playing this game today. And this thing is a hell of a football game. Matt, did you think Auburn would look like that in that game? Because I don't know what I expected. These teams are laying one on top of the other. I keep saying that. I know it's an obnoxious thing to say. But, man, there is so little separation with these teams right now.
I didn't think Auburn would be this good defensively in this game. I thought Mateer would be able to put some points up. I'm not surprised at all that Oklahoma's defense is good. They've been good for a long time, and they're playing their former quarterback, so they kind of – Venables really probably hasn't had a great game plan to stifle them. But I've been really impressed with Auburn with how physical and especially with just how fast they are. I mean, both of these teams are flying around. Both are really aggressive, which is leading to some big plays in the passing game. But the defenses are taking stands when they need to.
It's such a great performance, I mean, for both teams have this thing kind of right in the spot where they want it. Go ahead, Bri.
The Vols are favored by 9.5 next week, and the total is 61.5.
Wow. Two interesting numbers. Before we go back to our phones, and if you want to get in, 865-200-5402. And if you were encountering busy signals, now's an opportunity to jump in with us as we celebrate Tennessee's win today in Neyland Stadium that featured a player that should have been ejected from the game for stomping on the foot of our place kicker in plain view of everybody, which leads me to believe, why? I don't know that I've ever seen that in a football game. Maybe you have. Did the guy, did our cherub-looking, young-looking, youthful-looking, ruddy, complected kicker last week, did he DM this guy's girlfriend? Did he lose him money? Was he talking trash to him? Losing money last week on a bet. I mean, you have to ask this stuff today in this day and age. Did he have a friend say, hey, man, do me a favor, go step on his foot? That guy cost me money. It was really strange looking. And correct me if I'm wrong, Matt, that was the first play of the game. I know I'm not a great detail guy. That was the first play of the game, right? When that happened?
The stepping on the kicker?
Yeah, like right at the beginning of the game.
I think it was after the third extra.
The first extra point, I
First
believe.
extra point is what
I
I
thought
meant.
it was the third one.
Oh, was it the third
I thought it was later in the game. I thought it was later in the game. Maybe I'm wrong.
Because I know they got a personal foul penalty as well right off the kickoff. Or did they get a guy thrown out of the game right off the kickoff? I think they got a guy thrown out of the game off was it the third, Bri? Say, it all runs together, especially in games like this. These things are hard to track. At any rate, I would love to know the real story on that, because that guy has to be an absolute knucklehead to do something like that. So we've got his and hers field goals going on in the as State adds another, and now Oklahoma's going to settle for a field goal. Matt, do you like Oklahoma settling for a field goal there, 4th and 2? That's generally not how the game is played, but they've added 3. I guess with their defense, Matt, that's a good play. But that's a win for Auburn, isn't it, Matt?
Yeah, it's a win for Auburn. But if you're Oklahoma, you trust your defense, and now they have to have a touchdown to beat you.
It's an SEC game.
You kind of bolt up on them pretty well when they've crossed midfield. So I don't mind that at all.
So meanwhile, two future opponents add 3. Tennessee's opponent next week is up 24-10. Oklahoma goes up 16-10. One game is coming towards the end of the third quarter. That's the Mississippi State game. It looks like they're going to be, barring a crazy comeback here, it looks like they're going to be 4-0 when we go down there. It's going to be a hornet's nest. And Oklahoma, meanwhile, has about 14 and a half minutes left in their game, and they're clinging to a six-point lead at 16-10. My friends at Performance Medicine, personalized health solutions that fit your life. That's what they do. Listen, I used to get like 11 or 12 sinus infections a year, and now under their care, I'm down to like 1 or 2, which, by the way, I live in a place where everybody's allergic to everything, and I've been allergy tested here, and they've told me you're allergic to everything. And so what Dr. Rogers has done is he's got me on just a tremendous cocktail of great vitamins and minerals, and my diet has changed, and it's helped me so much. It's helped me so much. And they can do the exact same thing for you. The approach at Performance Medicine puts you first. You first. Comprehensive proactive solutions empowering you to achieve optimal health on your terms. You can book an appointment over at performancemedicine.net and see exactly what I'm talking about. Just answer these questions. Are you feeling drained of energy? Are you struggling with weight goals? Are you dreaming of radiant skin? Are there other things that you have in terms of goals? Performance Medicine, online at performancemedicine.net. I go back to our phones. and get our next call in. It's Garza Law fifth quarter fan reaction presented by Marcos Garza and your Garza Law firm on our TLD Logistics phone lines. Tony Basilio, Matt Dixon, Brian Hartman with you. Hi, welcome in. You're on the air.
Hey, Tony, Bobby.
Hey,
Hope
Bobby,
you're well.
welcome in, buddy.
So, things that are striking me watching a lot of football today. First of all, my God, that game was hot. That was hot today. But you've said it a bunch this year, Tony, and I hadn't really honed in on it. They are not calling pass interference at all in college football anymore.
No, the hand fighting, it's all over the place.
Did you see the play just now in the Mississippi State game in the end zone? They had a safety over the top, and the Mississippi State cornerback literally just pulls the guy's jersey. I mean, you could see it was 3 feet. He literally pulls the guy's jersey over his shoulder pad, so his shoulder pad's exposed, and they did not call pass interference. And it was it was going to be a wide open touchdown.
Hey, Matt, what do you think gives with that? Because that's obviously going on. One thing we saw last year all over the sport was offensive pass interference. Now they're not calling it either way, and they let a lot of stuff go, Matt, in the Georgia game last week.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're letting all the hand fighting go, which is better than calling it one way or the other. I think they went overboard with the offensive stuff last year, so they've kind of corrected. Maybe it corrected a little too much, but I actually don't mind it. I'd prefer you not to throw flags than to throw too many.
I agree with that, because there was a play in the Tennessee game. There was an interference call that should have been called that Brian referenced earlier as well.
You talking about in the end zone
Yes.
when they threw it to Matthews?
Sure, yes.
Yeah, that was right in front of me. The guy ran through Matthews' chest. I couldn't believe they didn't call it.
It wasn't even close.
He didn't turn his head to the ball or anything. But, other things that strike me, I thought Oklahoma was a lot better than they're looking. I think Auburn might have a pretty salty defense, to be fair. But I'm not that impressed with what I'm seeing here. I'm not impressed with Mississippi State. That Northern Illinois team is not your uncle's Northern Illinois team. They're not very good.
No,
I think they'll be geared up for us next week.
Yeah,
Sir?
Tennessee's going to be able to make plays next week, I think, on this team. They're going to be able to throw the ball on them.
Yep. Hearing good things about Jackson Moy, so that's kind of exciting. I think he would have played today if it was a bigger opponent, so that's kind of exciting to hear. But on top of everything else, Tony, I'm not here to bash players, but I want to say what I saw. I do not think Jake Merklinger is very good. And I guess it's because Nico was so bad that we didn't know it back then, but that Merk was, air quotes, pushing him in the spring.
No, he wasn't pushing him. Come on, man.
He wasn't? Okay. Because, he's just not good.
Do you believe that? I love the spin.
I don't know.
I love spin.
You hear those things, right?
Come on. They were trying to keep Nico engaged or interested or something.
I see.
Obviously he wasn't pushing anybody. That guy can't play.
Can I pose a scenario and then I promise I'll jump, Tony? All right. 3 weeks from now, we're playing Arkansas at home. Joey has his helmet ripped off, right?
Yeah.
And we're at the 10-yard line about to score. What quarterback are you putting in the game?
Matt, how do you answer that? It's a game of consequence. Who are you putting in, Matt?
If his helmet gets ripped off, I think you probably call a timeout to keep him in the game. I really don't think. You'd probably have to use Merklinger for a play where it'd be a run play. But
what if it's a significant reason? Let's say Joey shoots off at the mouth.
No. How about this? How about this? Joey goes down, and he has to miss a quarter or miss a half, and you got to finish a game with him, Matt.
Okay, I don't want to say he's going to be hurt.
Who are you?
McIntyre. McIntyre will be the quarterback.
I agree with that.
I think Merklinger is your backup, regardless of who the starter is.
I think
that makes sense,
and that's a good way of putting it.
Yep. Thanks, Tony.
Thank you. The thing is, Matt, if that's the case, you should be in a game like today. You should be getting that kid some work, in my mind, because the other guy can't play.
I was surprised that McIntyre didn't play.
It's weird
because Merklinger got in early in the third quarter.
Yeah,
should have gotten McIntyre at least a series.
Of course,
that's a little shy. I guess UAB did have some longer drives where they moved the ball, but still, and you had the defensive score, but you got to – yeah, I think that's a miss to not get McIntyre some reps.
And we went slower, double pass in the Auburn game. Double pass, and it's nothing.
Well, he got tackled before the ball got there.
And that's another one. That's a great point.
I mean, I don't mind the no call there because it's kind of a bang-bang deal.
Yep.
I mean, the defensive back was tackling him before the ball got there.
That's a great point because he's beat. He's straight beat. Bri, they're not calling it. I mean, Bobby's right on cue. He in fact, the play was so late in developing that it allowed the DB to come back and climb the back of the Auburn receiver way before the ball is there. That's not even close, and they're not calling it.
I'm not sure I don't think he catches that even if he doesn't touch it. It looked like it was overthrown maybe. Because he had to jump up. He had to jump up way up above where he could jump. And the pass was way out of his reach.
Hey, Matt, if I'm coaching secondary right now, I'm telling my guys to grab and hold and clutch and grab. Clutch and grab, man. If that's what they're going to let you do, clutch and grab. And a special shout out.
Especially right off the line of scrimmage because they never call it then.
Shout out to my friends at Alumni Hall. Hey, Georgia tried to clutch and grab on Tennessee last week, and they kept falling down. But they didn't call any of them. They didn't call any of it. And
Michigan.
And we also, a couple of our wide receivers threw guys to the ground, which works for me too. I'm for that. Because if you're going to let it go, let it go. Let these guys play, Let's fight over what we're doing and let the players settle it. Go ahead, Bri, you were saying.
Michigan leads Nebraska 30-20 late in the game, 2.5 minutes left.
Poor Nebraska, man. It's just, how do you put it for them? It's just not meant to be. Because that's a game you got to win. You have a true freshman quarterback in your building. And I haven't had eyes on the game, but because we have our own league to worry about. That's a shame, isn't it, Matt, for those poor fans? We've at least had a reprieve. They've had no reprieve there, Matt. That's a shame for those people. That kind of sucks for them, really.
Well, they hit a Hail Mary at the end of the first half to tie the game. They had kind of outplayed Michigan early. They had a really long drive to start where they turned it over on downs, and then they had their second drive was a long where they missed a field goal, and it just kind of snowballed on them from there. But yeah, it's kind of same old for them, unfortunately, and a really big credibility win for Michigan with the freshman quarterback.
It's a hell of a win.
Head coach is suspended. Whether that's a factor or not, who knows? But that's a nice win for Michigan in a game of some of the powerhouses of the sport. But yeah, it's a shame Nebraska can't get over the hump,
and that is,
especially at home with that home crowd that sells out every damn game.
Again, it's
brutal to watch them just continue to just come up short in big games.
At least they won't have it stolen from them at the end in a heartbreaking way. They've been sort of behind the whole game.
We use the term program of or games of opportunity. That was one for them. True freshmen in your building. You're trying to get back. They've got a nice coach. Rule does a nice job. I'll tell you who does a great job. Alumni Hall. Then we go back to the phones on Garza Law, fifth quarter fan reaction. Listen, nobody does it like Alumni Hall. Now, listen to me. Living Vol fan. I had somebody tell me last week for the Georgia game, God, the line is huge. Unlike Dr. Danny's lines, their lines there, they move because they know exactly what they're doing. They get you in and they get you out. And in the meantime, they're going to take great care of you with terrific service, and you're going to see the best merchandise you can find. The best and largest selection of Tennessee apparel for the whole family. Great brand names like Nike, Champion, Columbia, Peter Millar, the top stuff. It's unbelievable, Andy. Plus, you can load up on hats. They've got accessories. They've got the Yeti. They've got all your tailgating necessities. They've got it all at Alumni Hall. You download that Alumni Hall app right now. You click account, tell you how much Hall cash you've earned. You get $10 in rewards for every $150 you spend. They've got locations in Murfreesboro and Bristol, 3 in Knoxville, 1 open in Johnson City. Or you go to alumnihall.com and shop anywhere in the world. Alumni Hall. Getting it done for the Living Vol fan. No place like Alumni Hall. Back to the phones we go. 865-200-5402. Hello and welcome in. You are on our Garza Law 5th Quarter Fan Reaction. Hi.
Tony, Mike in Portland.
Hey, Mike. Great to talk to you.
Hey, keep an eye out on a package for the 23rd.
I can't wait, my brother.
It's going to be, it'll be fun. So, I was watching on another app, and it looked like, I didn't catch the whole game because I had to work this morning.
Yeah.
But it looked like an A and B defender came over and intentionally stepped on one of our, spiked the punter's foot. Is that true?
Kicker.
Did I see that?
Yeah, field goal kicker. That's correct. Off a kickoff. Yes.
What happened on that? Was there any penalty or what happened on that? I didn't see the end of it.
They caught it and called the penalty, Matt, but shouldn't you throw a guy out of a game for that?
Yeah, targeting. That's classic targeting, just in a different way.
It's beyond targeting. It's like trying to maim somebody.
Yeah, you could have thrown him out. I think you would have been justified if you throw him out.
You're trying to injure somebody, man. And I do think now Heupel didn't talk about it post game, and if he did, I missed it. But I don't believe he talked about it post game. I do believe that Trent Dilfer went over and whispered in his ear and said, "Hey, we're sorry about that." I do believe that happened. It looked like that's what the exchange was after the game, because no coach wants that going on their watch. And here's the thing I wonder, and I'm serious now. Did the kid have a friend that lost a bet, or did he lose a bet on the game last week? Hey, you're the kicker that missed that field goal.
Oh, my God, could be. Thanks, Tony. You guys have a good day. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Back to our phones we go. Hello and welcome in. You're on the air.
I'll tell you, Tony, I'm watching that Michigan-Nebraska game.
Tell me about it, Bill.
Michigan just got penalized for pass interference. So
right.
Nebraska is straightening. I'll tell you why I'm rooting for Nebraska.
Okay.
My buddy Tom. That's his alma mater.
I love those Nebraska people. Hey, Donde Plowman comes from there. I've spent time in Nebraska. Now, I've never been to the College World Series like Matt. I've never had that blessing. But as Mississippi State hits another deep ball, Mississippi State's playing long ball in the second half on these guys. They're down to the 5-yard line, getting ready to tack on another one. Hey, Bill, they are the finest of fine people. We've had a chance to play them when they were great, and then when they were mediocre, and then when they were kind of bad. I've never had a bad experience with a Nebraska fan. Never. I love those people. Those are great people. I hate it for them. Because like us, it's a great point of pride and identity. And it sucks to suck, It sucks to suck. What are you saying, Matt?
Auburn just threw a ball out of the end zone on 4th down, but they're going to get bailed out with pass interference on a ball that was uncatchable. At least it wasn't catchable to where the guy could have stayed in bounds.
So they don't call it a few plays ago when they should have called it, but now they're calling it. You got to love it, Matt. And like you said last week, this is uncatchable ball. He's obviously
grabbing. Maybe they just called defensive holding.
Yeah,
and that
he took him down.
I mean, it was a ball that was overthrown out of the side of the end zone.
Looking at it, he took him to the ground. You're right. Bill, anything else for us?
Okay, Tony, Nebraska is
driving.
Michigan got penalized.
Right.
So they're making it interesting.
Hey, Bill, Nebraska is not winning that game, unfortunately for them and for your friend Tom and my friend Tom. Because I love Tom, but they're not winning that game.
Auburn touchdown.
You know why they're not winning that game? Because they're not winning that game. And they're going to be all – hey, Matt, if Oklahoma loses this game, they're going to be all over that coach for playing conservatively in modern college football. They're going to be all over him.
Or they're going to be all over him if they lose to their former quarterback.
And their former quarterback.
That was a big time drive. He had a 4th down scramble on 4th and 11 where he got about 15 yards to extend the drive. So that was big time drive for Jackson. Yeah, this game probably counts like for 2 or 3 for Brent Venables.
Wow.
If we're being honest about it.
Wow.
Oklahoma's got a schedule that's just after this, it's brutal.
And Bry, that's why we needed him to win this game, because we don't want him coming in here with 4 losses. I want that win to mean something when we beat them. That's kind of my goal here. But Bill, anything else for us? Who do the Titans have tomorrow, Bill?
Oh, they have beaten those Colts.
Oh, hey,
And
Bill.
of course, your team has the Rams.
Hey, Bill. You guys are going to get beat by about 3. And that's touchdowns. Have a good one, buddy. Let's go to our phones, get our next call in. It's Garza Law, 5th quarter fan reaction. That Titans team is a rough watch. It's 17. By the way, I think Mike Keith goes into the Hall of Fame down there tomorrow, or the Ring of Honor. Congratulations to him. And Oklahoma is now down a point in their building. And you think the pucker factor in Norman is pretty rich right now? And you think that the people in the state of Alabama are taking notice of this? This Auburn team is legit, my good friends. Hello and welcome in. You're on the air.
Hello, Tony. This is Lukey Dome.
Hey, Luke. Welcome in.
Hey, I want to compliment Matt on that analysis of the Georgia game.
Yep.
A beautiful analysis. I recommend everybody go read it.
Matt does a tremendous job, man. He really does. I mean, he's just such a
he
blessing.
hit all the points real good.
Oh, he's such a blessing, man.
Great win for Tennessee today. Good win. I mean, it's a good win for Tennessee today.
Yep.
You remember my call last week about watch the second half?
Nope. I don't remember.
Well, I was saying you said Tennessee needs to get 20 points in the first half. They got their 20 points.
Yep.
The second half, Tennessee, Georgia came out and ran the ball right down our throat.
Yes, I did.
That's why I think you could see right then that we were in trouble. Now, we're going to have to improve our defense. If our defense don't get better, we're not going to win some of those big games later in the year.
I do think Moy's going to come back next week. I think he could have played today. He's going to really help. The issue with Tennessee is going to be injuries from here. And Matt said it earlier. Matt, 1 or 2 more injuries for us, and we saw it this afternoon, we're going to be in big trouble, man. Like, we got to stay healthy from here. Get a couple guys back and stay healthy.
Well, there's certain position groups that you have to stay healthy.
Yes.
I think receiver is one of them.
Yes.
Quarterback, obviously. The only blessing with these injuries is they've come at your 2 deepest positions at corner and then along your defensive line.
Yes.
That's the only benefit that you've had there. And I guess as long as Sanders is out, you really can't afford any injuries on your offensive line either right now.
No, and the Sanders thing, talking to people.
Is he practicing, Tone? Do you know?
No, Matt, he's in total pain. He's not.
So he's probably a non-factor the rest of the year.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I mean, he's just having nerve issues, and he's having a cervical, like the spine area up top, up around his neck. That's it's not good. Not good.
Well, you don't get cleared for contact with that.
Yeah,
stuff.
there's no way he's practicing right. No way.
That touchdown that Auburn had in the first half that they took away from them.
Yes.
That was a clear touchdown. They showed the replay. Those fumble or interception, something, they went 50 yards for a touchdown.
I wonder why why'd they call it back, Luke? They call a penalty?
They said it wasn't. They said he never completed the catch.
Oh, one of those deals we're doing now.
But they ruled it a fumble and a scoop and score touchdown live, and then I was kind of shocked they overturned it, to be honest.
What the SEC needs to go to is what the ACC is doing in these games. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but in the ACC, they show the conversation between the booth and the referee on the field, so there's no ambiguity. There's nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. You can hear exactly what they're saying. Why the Southeastern Conference isn't doing that when they're supposedly so progressive in the sport, it would be a great added value to the viewer, to the fan, to everybody involved to know exactly why you call what you call. And there would be nothing wrong with it. But instead, we got to bring Bill Lemonier in, Lemonwa, whatever his name is, and this freaking guy shills for every referee under the sun. Have you ever heard Bill Lemonier say, Matt, that he doesn't agree with a call? Ever. Like ever. No.
No, he's awful. He makes Matt Austin look good.
He's a sheep is what he is. Bill Lemonier. Thank you. Thank you to my friend. You're my man.
Tony?
Yes.
Hey, I think Tennessee needs to really improve their recruiting, especially on the offensive and defensive lines, because we need more backups. It seems like we only have one the first team. We don't have a second team. We need to improve because we need to out-recruit Georgia and Alabama.
Yeah.
People like that.
The problem, Luke, today in the transfer portal is the same things are true at Alabama and Georgia. Georgia was getting smoked last week on the edge. Nobody has depth on their offensive line anymore. And that's the biggest difference in this league right now. The biggest difference is these guys are all dispersed across college football because they want to play. And I don't blame them. It's a rugged, rough, brutal league. A rugged, rough, brutal league. And, Matt, I don't know about Sanders whether or not he's practicing. My reply would be no to that, simply because I know that it's a nerve issue with his neck, and I know he's having all kinds of problems.
Yeah, they're not going to – any kind of neck issues, they're not going to let you practice.
No. I mean, I've just gone through this thing with my nerve. And listen, it has made me – anytime I hear nerves now, it has – because I get on people's nerves. It's made me – what I've just gone through with my back and L4, L5, and just had a little something done that's hopefully going to help me and alleviate it. But when you get that pain there and you can't sleep and you can't function, which is what he's going through, and I understand he's got pain radiating down his arms from it. I mean, it's brutal. And because they were describing it as a stinger, that's not accurate. It's not accurate. Stinger kind of comes and goes. This is, or happens, and then, you kind of shake it off. He ain't shaking off what's going on with him right now. It's pretty rough. So, and mentally, let me tell you something. Mentally, that thing really wears you out because you can't escape from it. You cannot escape. But we go back to our phones, 865-200-5402. Let's get our next call in. Hello and welcome. It's Garza Law, fifth quarter fan reaction. You're on the air.
Tony.
Yo.
What's up, brother?
Sammy in the Ridge, it was incredible seeing you yesterday. You were dressed to kill. Your son is a quality young man. When he helped me with my equipment and he wouldn't let me pick anything up. Quality. I'm talking top quality people, my brother. Kudos to you, Sammy.
Hey, man. It was a great weekend. He turns 18 Tuesday.
Kid carries himself. Hey, the kid carries himself like he's 28.
I know, right?
That's a mature 18-year-old kid you have there.
He's an old soul, brother.
I love it. And I asked him if you were really as sheepy as you sound, and he goes, "Oh, yeah." Sammy the sheep! Shapey Sammy. I love it, Sammy.
Look, I thought my score prediction was 83-16, and, we didn't quite get there. But, Tony, just an absolute epic weekend. And I was surprised, okay? I heard every game is sold out for the Tennessee schedule. This game was sold out. Is that correct?
I would imagine, yes.
I mean, it just doesn't get any better than the Tennessee fan base. And let me just shout out a few people right here.
Yeah.
The reason my son and I came to this game, I've previously mentioned that we met our realtor in upstate South Carolina, Christina. So I'm going to shout out Christina and Chris and her pops, Dr. DeBosky, Dr. Joe. And it's just, they gifted us these tickets. And, you talk about the gentleman that called yesterday, and he was bringing his son to his first game, right? I was able to take my 18-year-old to his, whatever number of games he'd been to, but the games we had been to was mostly gifts from the family, right? The Ball Nation family.
Isn't that wonderful, man? Yep.
And I've been gifted tickets.
Yep.
From a friend, Anne Marie, who is one of the greatest ball fans that has ever walked the face of the earth. And shout out Anne Marie and her group over there tailgating in the whole city. I mean, it was just an epic weekend, Tony. Thanks to these people that thank the good Lord has put in my life, right? And man, this team is awesome. We got in there late, unfortunately, because we had a hiccup and getting into the stadium. No, it was a deal with my son's buddy, but oh man, so it was incredible, Tony, and I love you, Matt. I love y'all, man. It's so wonderful, where we're at in this world. Like this is what it's about, and it happened this weekend. And Tony, what about now? You were down on Syracuse. How about Syracuse, brother?
Oh no, and the sad thing is, they lost their quarterback today, and it's bad.
Oh no.
Yeah. So at the end of that game, apparently, Matt, they think he blew his Achilles, right, Matt? Isn't that kind of the thought here? His Achilles popped up on him, rolled up on him at the end of the game.
What it looked. It was he was kind of scrambling and had a non-contact injury where he just went down, and it looked like an Achilles.
Yeah, it's really, 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 really awful. Really awful.
Well, man, listen, after all their years of success with players that should have gone to the University of Tennessee and now being in upstate South Carolina, it started with Vitello going in there and taking their lunch money on the baseball field. Yep. Here we are. Hey, man, let's go get state. Let's go down there and handle business.
Sammy, thank you.
Let's go down there and handle business. Love you, man.
And on that note, we have our Machi tailgate coming up. The directional school game in the middle of November. We need your tickets. If you'll go to tclub.team, you'll see how you can reach out to Amachi Brook. Look, we're going to take children to this game, many of whom have never been in that stadium. Amachi is a mentoring program here in East Tennessee that Amachi Knoxville, they are a mentoring program for children with one or both parents incarcerated. Now, this is something that we've been doing for about 10 years now, and it only works, like Sammy was just saying, if you part with your tickets. And I know these things are getting more and more and more and more expensive as time goes on. As Oklahoma just scored a touchdown, I want to encourage you, though, to go over to tclub.team, look on the blog, how to reach out with Amachi Brook and help us round up some tickets. We need your help. Oklahoma going for 2. They don't get it, so it's 22-17, which means that with about little under 5 minutes to play in the game, Auburn's going to have an opportunity to play 4-down football, to go down there and get out of here with a shocking win. Matt, the question for you and for every college fan listening is, I don't understand the rule. Because in some games you have to possess the ball all the way to the ground, and that includes in certain games colliding with the cameraman on the sideline. And in this game, they just rolled a guy who did not possess the ball all the way to the ground to get a foot in, which allowed Oklahoma to inevitably score this touchdown. Matt, would you please explain the rule to me? Because they are not officiating this thing equally across the board. It is very confusing.
Yeah, I can't explain it. It doesn't make any sense on the stuff of completing a catch when it's a touchdown, how that's totally different than any place else.
Yes.
The one in the LSU Clemson game was probably the most egregious one when they took a touchdown away from the guy because he had 2 feet in, he had the ball, and then after he fell down out of bounds, he lost control of it, and they took it away from him, but he had already scored, so it shouldn't matter what happens after you score. I don't know. It's just like what the NFL did. I mean, what's a catch and what's not a catch? They've convoluted it so much that it's literally just a judgment call each time.
So why is college football taking their cue from those people? That's my point. For years and years and years and years and years, in the end zone, once you broke the plane with the ball, that was a touchdown. Now all of a sudden, you got to collide with the cameraman in the back, hold the ball. But then in this Oklahoma game, what I've gotten used to this year is that play is taken away as an incompletion. But I don't know, because Ravano Freeze couldn't believe it. So Ravano Freeze tonight after this game, if they lose with the hidden man trick along the sideline that he was apoplectic about, and now a block in the back to start the drive, which is another thing that these guys love doing, the timely calls that happened against you. It's tough to go in somebody's building and win a close game on the road, man. It is tough to win a close game on the road. Jackson Arnold is in the shadow of his own end zone. They got to go 90 yards in under 5 minutes, Bri. That is not happening, is it, Bri? 91 yards in under 5 minutes, Bri. What are the chances out of 10?
There's a better chance of a pick six or a defensive touchdown for Oklahoma.
No. Matt, what are the chances out of 10 that Auburn goes down there and scores?
Maybe 1.
I agree.
They just got done with that incredible drive to take the lead.
I agree.
Where they converted a couple of 4th downs.
Ready? And it was
Venables has him exactly where he wants him, facing his former quarterback that they basically told to leave.
Cinco, get in here.
Hey, Tone.
Go ahead, Sean.
Tone, I got a huge room of tennis. Long time Tony Basilio fans. And I just want to give a shout out if I came back on.
Shout him out, Cinco. Go ahead.
Are you there?
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I said I got a huge room of Tony Basilio fans, and they just wanted to get a shout out for you.
All right.
That's why I came back on.
All right, hit it.
No, they just want to say they love the show, love you.
Identify them. Who are they? Identify them. Let's shout them out, Cinco. Let's shout them out, Cinco. Who are they?
We got Jake, we got Jeremy, we got Amy, we got Patty, and best of all, we got Roscoe the dog.
Let's go! Shout them out. Let's go back to our phones. Thank you, Cinco. I love that.
All right, go Vols.
See you, babe. Hello and welcome in. It sounded like a Beastie Boys record in the background there. It was like when Matt was talking.
Hey, here's one.
Yeah.
Butch Jones is down 21-0 to Kennesaw 8 on the road.
Hey, you don't sleep on Kennesaw. Butch
fighting Jerry Max.
Hey, let me tell you something about Butch Jones.
Running Heupel's offense.
Nobody rallies his team better than Butch Jones. I don't sleep on Butch Jones down 21-0. We learned that here.
Hey, he's fallen behind 21-0 lots of times.
Hello and welcome into our next call. You're on Garza Law 5th Quarter Fan Reaction. Hi.
What's going on, Tony? It's Rod and Corporal.
What's up, buddy?
Hey, Tony, I think the reason that the referees are calling the games like they are is because now they're allowed to bet in these games, and I think that's what's going on.
The officials are gambling.
I think that's what's going on, Tony.
There you go.
But I did like what you said about 5 callers ago. You was asking about, what would happen if Joey Aguilar, was out for, a quarter or whatever.
Yeah, what would you do?
To be honest with you, Tony, I'd put Boo Carter in and let him run the Wildcat and let him hand off the ball, do whatever you got to do, and get it done.
Matt, Boo Carter, if you ran the Wildcat with him, would probably
it'd be better than the other situations with them other 2 quarterbacks.
How do we put this, Matt? he would probably know more of what's going on there than he does at his defensive position right now, Matt. Because that poor guy looks lost on defense. No offense.
Well, he better handle the ball better than he handled that punt today.
Interesting.
Well, Matt, look what he did after the punt. He bounced back. Give him an opportunity.
Hey, I'm not ripping the guy. It's Matt over there ripping the guy.
Tony.
It's Matt over there ripping the guy. How about it, Matt?
I'm not saying you are, Tony. I love y'all. You know I do.
I know.
I love y'all to death. It's just we have got to get this guy on offense.
I would love to see him on offense. You know that.
That's where he runs.
I would love to see him with the ball in his hands. And I think in the punt game, he's trying to make plays so much because he's going to get so little opportunity. Hey, doggy.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Yep.
But anyway, Tony, go Balls, and I hope Florida ends up, at least giving an effort like Auburn's giving right now. Go Balls.
Agreed with that. Thank you, my brother. Shout out to my man Josh Collins and your Collins Insurance Agency. They're online at collinsinsuranceTN.com. Again, collinsinsuranceTN.com. The entire Raymere studio from pillar to post, beginning to end, soup to nuts, is insured by Erie Insurance. And look, we've had a couple lightning strikes here. Is that why the dog's down here? Is there weather or somebody shooting guns or? Okay, well, she's down here. She never comes unless it's weather or somebody's shooting, which anything's possible around here. No offense. And so that's a grounding from his own end zone. Is he outside the tackle box, Matt? Did they call that at the 2-minute warning? We're doing a little watch along here.
Tony, I actually had to step outside to take my dog on our evening jog, so I don't have eyes on the game.
I love you, Matt. Matt told me the other night. He said, "Tone, I'm late getting the message or the blog entry to you. I was playing with my dog," and I texted him back and said, "Hey, Matt, any night you can get on the floor and play with your dog is a great night of life. I'm a very simple guy. Best things in life are free. I love my dog. Okay, love.
Yeah, well, the reason I had to play with him for an hour is because we didn't go on our jog that night, and he's an absolute psycho when we don't use all his energy up at the park. So.
Back to the phones we go, and taking a dog to the park is one of life's great privileges as well. My dog would not do well at the park. My dog's like I don't know. My dog's nutty, but we love her. Hello and welcome into our next call. You're on the air. It's Garza Law, 5th Quarter Fan Reaction. Hi.
Hey, Tom. It's KT.
Hey, KT.
Upstate. How's it going?
Good talk to you, my friend.
Hey, you care if I mix up the topic there from the dogs?
Mix it all up. Mix it all up, my brother. I'm not here to.
I don't want to be confused with the UAB player and step on toes around there.
I mean, good gosh.
Is that not the craziest thing you ever seen?
Mm-hmm.
Is there any possibility that there could be ramifications for that after the fact? Like, could they go back and penalize him?
That kid's league could suspend him.
Because he should be.
That kid's league could suspend him. They could. The SEC can't do anything to him, but
Trent Dilfer could suspend him.
Trent Dilfer could suspend him. To Matt's point, absolutely.
He should. That's the worst I've seen since Hainsworth stomped on that guy's head.
Well, I mean, there's
totally uncalled for.
Yeah, there's no reason to do that. There's no. What would the reason for that be?
Yeah, I can't imagine those guys. I mean, it's possible there's something outside of football, but I mean,
how?
Probably unlikely.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, the kicker and the guy that's running special teams on the other team.
It's odd.
In a totally different league.
There's no way.
No. Question for you guys. Do you think, Rod, they're talking about Carter, do you think maybe we've messed him up a little bit? He looks so shaky on punt returns now. Like, I don't know if he's trying to prove something too hard or if there's something going on in his head, but he just seems like very unsure on these muffing these punts. So it's like, 2 or 3 now this year?
He missed the summer, man. You know, like other guys are working on their games, and he wasn't. And I'm not knocking the kid. Here's the thing about Boo Carter. He has world-class ability in his sport. But the sport, all these sports are so competitive, you got to work at them. You got to work at them. And it's nothing they've done to him. It's what he's done to him. But I will say this. He's such a great punt returner that I think he wants to make plays. And the kicking game, for the most part, is been taken out of the sport by these rugby-style punters that hold these balls. And guys like him get so little opportunity to touch it that in a game like this, he's going to try and make plays because it's kind of a directional school game against quote-unquote lesser caliber players. Not everybody's lesser caliber, but you know what I mean. And he wants to freewheel out there. I completely get it. Here's the thing that scares me about a guy like him. Don't do that in league games, man. Don't do it in SEC games. Do not do it in SEC games.
I feel like he could cost us a game. He seemed so natural last year returning the ball, and now it seems like he's taking a lot of iffy punts.
I agree with that. I'm sure they're going to try to coach that out of him, but I don't know that you can. I don't know. I don't know that you can coach it out of him. Well, I guess we'll see. Because he really wants to make plays. Thank you, my brother. Great talking to you.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, great talking to you. I want to thank all of our great sponsors here. Brian, would you say that Oklahoma, Bri, on defense kind of means business when they get you pinned back? Because they are hammering their former quarterback right now. And that is a great way for the game to end with a safety. That's a great way for the game to end. I don't know that ends the game, though, because it's 24-17, and they got to punt it back to him, Bri. So actually, that kind of kept Jackson Arnold and them alive. They shouldn't have tackled him there. Now with 1:06 left, we just okay. No, they're getting the ball back. My bad. I don't know what
Auburn is going to have to free kick.
That's right.
They'll probably have to onside kick it or something.
So Matt, have we seen this? Can you onside kick a free kick? What do you do? What do you do on a free kick?
I guess we need to ask Bill Lemonier if that's legal.
I've never seen it because I don't
know. That's a really good question. Yeah, I don't think you can, but I don't know why you wouldn't be able. I don't know if there'd be a rule against it. But
Jackson Arnold on this series. Okay, you ready for this? That series we talked about from the goal line got hurried 4 times, got hit 4 times. Got sacked 3 times, and the last one resulted in him going down in the end zone. Now, that Oklahoma defense today has 10 sacks. You thought I was exaggerating. 10.
You cannot
10 sacks.
Get that far behind the sticks of the game against them in that building.
No. 10.
Thankfully, the game is in Neyland.
10 sacks. 10. I'd say, Matt, that's pretty good in a Southeastern Conference game against a real opponent. 14
it's good
hurries.
in a bye game.
14 hurries.
Sacks. So they've come after him. You knew Venables was going to have a great game plan.
Yes.
Against his former quarterback. It was one of my 5 pointers this week. Oklahoma at 6.5, which that safety is kind of big for me.
How about that?
I'm surprised that Auburn's defense has played as well as it has. So for them just to be in the game, I mean, it's going to be a brutal loss for them and for Arnold especially. But they've held their own in this game, I thought.
All right, hang on. They're like onside kick and free kicking here, Bri. What are they calling now? Are they calling illegal procedure, or did Oklahoma
I can't see this.
Take time out? Matt, they had everybody on one side. And then they shifted them, and they had a bunch of guys going in motion toward the line of scrimmage. It was crazy looking. Brian, that looked like a rugby play, didn't it? A free kick.
Yeah, you don't see this very often.
I've never seen it. Matt, have you ever seen it? I'll be honest with you. I didn't know the rule. I've never seen that. How many people have ever seen a game end on a safety where the team's got to turn around and then free kick onside free kick the punt? The
Auburn just has 1 timeout left, so they got to get the ball back or it's over.
This is wild looking. This is utterly wild looking, what we're seeing right now. And we're doing a little watch.
Did Oklahoma recover it?
No, it hadn't happened yet. Timeout on the field.
Oh.
It's getting ready to occur.
You can onside the free kick.
You can't?
You can. It's a free kick.
Yes. Right. Obviously, I'm watching this. And so they're all running, Matt, from one side to the other, and the punter pooches the ball up in the air, and it is Oklahoma football. They caught it. And I think they're going to call illegal touching because I think Auburn touched it before, but it's Oklahoma ball. Oklahoma's going to win. And Venables is going to live to fight another day.
Why would they pooch kick it? Couldn't Oklahoma just call a fair catch?
That's what they did. Apparently, that's what they did, Matt. That they gave some kind of like motion that usually connotes illegal touching, but I must have misread a signal because it looked like an up man caught the ball, Bri. Is that what happened there? An up man caught a ball. Card 84.
They kept it on the ground. It looked like they kind of kept it on the ground and it just kind of dribbled. I couldn't see because there was a lot of players around it.
It was weird looking,
It looks
Matt.
like Oklahoma's going to get the ball.
Matt, when you see this replay later, how they run from one side to the other, and my boy Ravano Freeze looks like, that's a tough loss for them. But they got swallowed at the end of that game. Just literally, Oklahoma's defensive line is damn good. Damn good. And you know what, Matt? They've got a tough stretch coming up here. It's a really good result for the Vols. We needed them to win this game today. We need some meat on our schedule. You agree with that?
Yeah, they're
Matt?
They're going to be a live dog against Texas.
Hell yeah, they're going to be a live dog.
They might actually.
Are we sure they're going to be a dog?
They may not even be a dog.
That game,
hey,
to be honest.
I heard today that Arch Manning's working with a sports psychologist down there, and they're freaked out by how he's lost his mojo / Jomo. It's a great football game. It's a great league. That right there was last week's game was a great game. That was a damn great game right there. You talk about ABC getting their money's worth out of this deal. This league is putting it on right now. They are putting it on.
Well, this time next week it'll be Bama at Georgia kicking off.
Shit. Right in our time slot, Matt. I'll have 2 TVs going. I don't know about you. But Mateer today finishes 24 for 36 for 271. 1 passing touchdown, 1 rushing touchdown. That's going to do it for us. I wanted to get you home on this deal.
Hey, wait, before we go, Brian, do you have a Wisconsin coaching hot board by chance?
Dixie, are you watching Dimwit versus Frankie Jr.?
Hey, Matt.
I'm gonna have that on in a little bit.
Hey, Matt.
Yes.
Hey, Matt. Who wins the Florida game tonight? It's Matt. He's out. He's walking.
I'll be stunned if Florida wins. Miami wins, and Miami will just swallow them on the line of scrimmage.
Florida might join Clemson of the teams that will quit.
Yes.
Before September's over.
The favorite thing I heard this week was, I think it was the Cover 3 podcast. They talked about how they asked the question, how many days would it take for Billy Napier and Mario Cristobal to get out of one of those escape rooms?
What a great line. Thank you. Those 2 guys, tonight's going to be a real pretzel. Those 2 guys. A lot of pretzel logic going to be used tonight by those 2 guys. And that one's going to start in about 15 minutes. I got some baked sketty waiting for me upstairs. I've been a good boy today. Gone way over 3 hours with a Garza Law 5th quarter fan reaction after that game today. I want to thank Brian and Matt. I want to thank C, and I want to thank Cinco for the extra love. And also Ewad today and John Adams. We've had us a great, great time presented by Marcos Garza, your Garza Law firm, online at garzalaw.com. Shout out to our friends at VIP Play, online at vipplay.com. And they love you. We appreciate you. T3 Vodka, ladies and gentlemen. Score you a T3 TD each and every day. Ask for it by name. T3 Vodka. Also, special shout out, Waterside Contracting, easy for me to say. WatersideContractingLLC.com. Walker's Painting. You better run, don't walk to Walker's Painting. Calhoun's, my taste and your taste of Tennessee, where we will be on Friday on the eve of the Mississippi State game. We're there each and every Tennessee Football Friday. Wonderful, incredible people, the taste of Tennessee. TLD Logistics, providing our phone lines all day long. For all your shipping needs, they've got you covered from pillar to post. TLD Logistics. Let's shout out our friends at Alumni Hall. They're online at alumnihall.com. Anywhere in the world, they've got you covered for the best in Tennessee merchandise. Connexial, our transportation logistics tech company operating right out of beautiful Knoxville, serving nationwide, making our roads and our drivers safer. Connexial.com. Josh Collins and the Collins Insurance Agency. Do they come any finer than Josh Collins? He is a tremendous human being. Dos Equis. You will go for Dos. Cervezas Mexicanas. White Plains, New York, 2025. And you will go for Dos. Special shout out to our friends as well at Performance Medicine. You know what? Performing pretty well right now. We're getting it done over here. Why am I keep saying? I don't know. I keep saying done for whatever reason in that manner. It's kind of obnoxious, but Performance Medicine's great. Dr. Rogers, thank you for all you do for keeping us healthy. For the cast and crew, my name's Tony Basilio. I wish you a great one. Congratulations to the Tennessee Volunteers today. Though today the Blazers put their best foot forward and tried to stomp somebody's foot out. We love you. We appreciate you. We'll be with you Tuesday night for the reveal. I'll be back with you live when they do the schedule reveal. We'll have the cast and crew all assembled, and we'll be responding in real time. We will also be live with you on Monday, Rice fans. And check out our blog over at tclub.team. We'll have a couple thousand words for you, no doubt, on the weekend. We love you. We appreciate you. G to the B to the O. And I'll talk to you Monday with Bino. Peace.